Alright, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another live stream. Bear with me here as I make sure that we're all properly set up. Alright. Welcome back, ladies and gents. Yeah, we had some technical issues there. But all set now. Let me know if you can see me okay. No audio. Are you sure about that? I think there is audio. Can you guys let me know in the live chat? Can you see me okay? Can you hear me okay? Welcome back to the live stream, ladies and gents. Let me, all good with the audio? Yeah, I think audio is good. Yeah. Do you find the treadmill helpful and working? No, not really. I don't think so. Real talk with Sam the Man. You guys already know what's going on, ladies and gents. Welcome into the live stream. Smash up the likes. As you are coming in here, Bitcoin has just managed to sweep its high at about 122k, which does, again, put us on track to break that all-time high. And definitely, potentially, as early as today, maybe even on this stream. So if you're hyped up for that like I am, smash them up. Ladies and gents, welcome to the stream. Let me know where you're watching from today and how you're feeling about the market. How are you positioned in the market? Are you well positioned? Are you under positioned? Are you waiting for something? Let me know what the deal is in the live chat, ladies and gents. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's see who we've got in the chat today. We got Dave. What's going on, Dave? Where's the Four Flies fan club? You guys already know what's up. Demiano saying, I guess I'm speaking on behalf of everyone here. We do appreciate your timing and professionalism. Well, thank you very much, sir. You know, I'm not sure how professional I come across sometimes, but you're definitely validating me. So thank you very much for that. I do appreciate that. Yeah, we've got the walking treadmill back again, ladies and gents. I was too fat for too long, and we're doing something about it now. We're finally doing something about it now. What's going on, Bill Brower? How you doing, man? Raymond, Remco, Aditya, what's up, man? Big Daryl, Martin C. What is the meaning of the name Four Flies? I don't even know, dude. I don't even know. If you come up with one, let me know. We got Australia in the house. What's going on, Australia? Michael Petit says, been waiting for a good pullback, but it seems like it's not coming. We got a pullback. It came down to 112. Yeah, I guess you could say that that's not a good pullback. I understand why you would say that. It's definitely underwhelming. But, I mean, after that, we pulled back, bro. We hit 122. We fell down to 118. That was basically, you know, our support area was here. Oh my god, what's going on with my mouse? Our support area was here. Okay, I got issues with my mouse. Bear with, guys. I'm gonna have to deal with the software. But I'm still here, and I think I might be able to use another mouse for now. So let me see if I can do that. Okay. Just while my main mouse kind of gets ready to work again. So yeah, we had this support level at about kind of, you know, I mean, I had it drawn on this chart at about kind of 119.6, right? That's where I had this line drawn for a long time. And this was kind of my support level for Bitcoin if Bitcoin were to break above 120. And, you know, we actually penetrated a little bit, you know, deeper than that, which is completely fine. You know, I'm not upset by that. Okay, my mouse is back. My mouse is back. What's up, ladies and gents? I'm ready to go. Smash up the likes as you are coming in here, ladies and gents. We only got 21 likes. We've got to turn this up a little bit more. Got Amsterdam in the house. What's going on, Amsterdam? So we had this, you know, 119.6 support level right here. And, you know, we came back down. We tested it, obviously. It had a really, really quick initial bounce, which failed. And then the price came lower. That's not discouraging for me, because the factor by which it came lower was not, you know, ridiculous. It faked out by about 1.3%. So a 1.3% fake out, not that bad. And it also put it, you know, right in the fixed range volume profile, right? We've been taking a look at this throughout the trend in the market. Am I on a treadmill? Yes, sir, I am. We're on a treadmill. That's why you see me rocking forward and back. Just getting the steps in, boys. You already know the deal. Just getting the steps in. But, yeah, no, this was the point of control for Bitcoin, and we bounced off that. So I'm forgiving of the fact that Bitcoin did not bounce exactly off 119.6. I don't, you know, I'm not losing sleep over that, because we did come down to the point of control. So the question was, are we going to get any good pullbacks? And I think we've had one shit pullback here. You know, this was the 112k range. I don't like that pullback, and you guys know my thoughts on that. And we had a better one, you know, over here. And this one was something that you could have seen coming, you know, with the point of control and everything like that. And we were talking about it on this YouTube channel, those of you that are subscribed. We saw this coming. We saw this coming. What I didn't see coming is Bitcoin sweeping its dominance low again. I mean, it's now at that previous low, and it certainly looks like Bitcoin is going to reclaim that dominance level. But this is all happening in a really interesting environment, because Ethereum is also doing very, very well. So look, we got a lot of things we're going to be discussing in this live stream, but I need you guys to smash up those likes before we really kick this off. We need to push this live stream out to more people. 150 viewers, ladies and gents. Help me out with the algorithm. It's been punishing us for like a year. At what point is it me and not the algorithm? I don't know. I'll just offset responsibility. But it does help, and we've seen that a lot. So smash them up if you are looking forward to this stream, ladies and gents. We've got so much more we're going to be covering than just these ideas here. Of course, we've got the S&P 500 to look at. Put the treadmill on top speed. I'll speed it up in a bit. Smash them up, ladies and gents. Thanks for smashing them up. Let's get this thing above 100 likes. That's easy. That's easy. We can do that, no problem. Smash them up. And let's see where you guys are watching from today. Let me know where in the world you're watching from and how you feel about these markets. We got Amsterdam. We got Canada. All right. Let me know if connection's stable. Looks fine. Looks like it's kind of choppy a little bit. Tiny bit. But that's fine. One of our boys here, overly positioned. Why are you overly positioned, sir? Is there such a thing as overly positioned right now? There's nothing you can hold that's not making money right now. Must feel good, right? I don't know. But yeah, broadly speaking, sure, you can still be over-positioned even if you are making money. Dave Mewborn, shout out to Dave Mewborn. Hit those likes. Come on, guys. If you're listening here, give the man a little like. Thank you very much, bro. Really appreciate that comment. Sebastian says, Amsterdam in the house. What's going on? Already read that comment. GeoRider, what's going on, man? Welcome back. Was waiting for 118k. I mean, we did get 118k. I don't know if you saw it. 118k was right here on this wick. I mean, what was the low? Okay, the low was 118 and $50. So it didn't quite hit that round number. Maybe that's what you meant. But yeah, it basically fell down to the same level. And you know, when you're setting orders, you don't necessarily want to set them at that round number, because a lot of the time the market is going to front run, or the market is going to, you know, overshoot. So I like to kind of, you know, it depends how desperate I am to get into the trade, you know, but I like to kind of, you know, just position my orders a little bit closer to where the market might hit them. Depending, again, you know, sometimes I'm feeling a little bit more conservative. Usually I'm feeling conservative, so I don't do stuff like that. Usually I actually go beyond the support level. But sometimes, you know, you just feel like you got to get in. You know what I mean? And that's cool too. GeoRider hoping for the POC. Yeah, we kind of got that. I don't know. Maybe you're looking at a different chart. We got Texas, Denver. What's going on, ladies and gents? Welcome to the live stream. Smash up those likes as you are coming in here. What treadmill am I using? Honestly, I don't know. I don't know. But I know it was like $300-400, which I don't know if that's reasonable or not. I just wanted something wide. I don't want to like step on the sides by accident, especially on live stream. Imagine that. That'd be hilarious. Danny Tiller from Isle of Wight, England. Dude, Isle of Wight is nice. Isle of Wight is very nice. My bank is empty. We're all in. Let's go. Let's go, bro. My man's got an empty bank account. We're pinning that comment right there. Sammy, your last few YouTube videos were awesome. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. Yeah, I've been working hard on those. Is there a resistance at all-time high? Yeah, there usually is. At least psychological resistance. There usually is something. Shout out to Peter from New York. What's going on? Smash up those likes, gents, as you come in. Ladies and gents, my bad. We're being inclusive. Not too inclusive. We're not going to get crazy with it, but we're being inclusive. And, yeah, you know, taking a look at Bitcoin right here, it's managed to, you know, look, it set this high. We were live on this day as well, pretty much like as this was happening or somewhere around there. I can't remember. And, you know, we managed to set this high at about 122.2. And, you know, that's cool. You know, I mean, it's whatever. It's not game-changing, but it's definitely better than nothing. I think, you know, Bitcoin probably stopped at 122.2 because there was a super, super tiny bit of consolidation. Bear with. There was a super tiny bit of consolidation. Oh yeah, my mouse is just not liking me today. Right here, you know, it wasn't even consolidation. It was like a tiny resistance hit, and that yellow line is exactly where Bitcoin topped out, right? As we kind of moved up a few days ago, 2 days ago. But you know, one of the things that we've done here, which is a really big deal, is, well, first of all, it took 28 days for Bitcoin to revisit this 122k plus price range. Okay, so for Bitcoin to get above 122k, it took 28 days. Okay, it took a month. Now that's really important because the next time that Bitcoin attempted to attack this level, it was 2 days later. All right, so we're seeing something really important here, ladies and gents. Originally, it took 28 days for the market to get up here. Then it got rejected and it took the market 2 days. Okay? That's a big difference. 28 days down to 2 days. We could have had another 28-day rejection. We didn't. We had a 2-day correction. Alright? And obviously it gets much more extreme from there because on this occasion, it's been 5 hours since the last attempt. So no wonder we've broken that resistance level. Now this is a very typical thing that kind of happens in our markets, ladies and gents, is that we end up hitting a resistance level, regrouping, and attacking it again. But the faster you do that, the more likely you are to get that breakout, blue sky breakout, push that ceiling, and now you're in uncharted territory, which we're in. Because, yeah, Bitcoin's traded here before, but only once, and only for a couple of hours. So this is completely uncharted territory now for Bitcoin. Bear in mind, by the way, against certain currencies, including the Swiss franc, Bitcoin has not set an all-time high. That's really interesting. And adjusted for inflation, Bitcoin's not doing as well as it looks either. Which, to me, we are pretty much just straight up. Yeah, but on a, you know, on a small time frame and in, you know, a relatively modest price range as well. I mean, you know, let's be clear. From here, 112 up to where we are right now, that's a $10,000 move. But that's not 10% of price action. Okay, it's a $10,800 move from the low that Bitcoin set about 2 weeks ago, or about 10 days ago, to where we are right now. It's up by about 10.8k. And that's not even 10% of Bitcoin's price. So I know that this looks crazy, but I don't think it's crazy. And I think that the implication here is that Bitcoin can do a lot better, Bitcoin can get a lot higher, and we're going to be talking a lot about that throughout this live stream. Thanks for smashing up those likes, legends. We're getting close. Smash them up. Let's get them up. Let's get them up to above $100. Thank you for answering my question. You're very welcome. We'll be answering questions throughout this live stream. Drop them in the live chat as you get them. Nice, get that walk in. Absolutely. The thing is, I didn't get enough steps in today, so I was like, yeah, we're getting the big tripod out. This tripod is so high right now. I had to get like a special extra height tripod just for this. Just join the stream. Are you on a treadmill? Lol, absolutely epic. Yes, sir, I am. Yes, sir, I am. Just getting those steps in. What we at? I don't know if my Apple Watch counts steps properly on an indoor treadmill, but it says I've already hit like 2k, so that's pretty decent. But 122.8. You know, it's not that big of a jump from the low that we set. In terms of dollars and market cap size, yeah, that it's a pretty big deal. You know, it's literally like $0.2 trillion. So quite a large number. But as far as kind of, relative price action goes and everything like that, this is not that extreme. And that's why I think that we can get a lot higher from here. But on the point that I was making, which is that it took 28 days for Bitcoin to revisit this resistance level after the initial all-time high, and then 2 days after that, and then 5 hours after that, these are things that we can use to tell us, hey, if we're constantly attacking the same resistance level over and over and over, that's going to be a sign to the bears that the bears are not seizing control. Because here's what happens, right? At a resistance level, you're supposed to get rejected. And you're not supposed to have, like, a tiny rejection, that looks something a little bit like this, because that's going to make, the market look like it's going up again. Bears want to see big rejections. You want to see rejections that drop you down to support levels, which in this case, 19.6 is the level that we've already known about for quite some time. It'll drop you down to a support level, but ideally for a bear, you want to break that support level. You want to drop below that support level. That's what success looks like as a bear. Now we have the next support level down here. You want to break that level too. That's what bears are looking for. There's liquidity down here. Do you know what I mean? Like for the market manipulators or them or the exchanges or whoever we're blaming today, Wednesday, Thursday, depending on where you are in the world, they want the price to drop past these liquidity levels. And especially, bears, they want to see that we're losing support levels, okay? So if you're hitting resistance, but your response is lackluster, for example, this drop right here, it was important, it was definitely something. From high to low, you're down by 3.5%. It's something. But this next rejection, by comparison, only takes Bitcoin down by 1.5%. Okay, so it's definitely losing a lot of strength. We go from 123 all the way down at its lowest point to 112. Yeah, that was this drop. Look, so this drop, the initial move is minus 6% down to the low is minus 9%, okay? We're doing minus 3% here and minus 1.5% here. So not only, and this is really important, I can't stress this enough, from everything that we're seeing here, not only are we taking less time to come back to these levels, but every time we get rejected, those rejections are getting smaller. Okay, so this is how we can kind of read between the lines and really understand what the market's doing, where, perhaps the market doesn't give us those answers so clearly. We can read between the lines and we can still get those answers. So what does that mean now? Well, now what it means is that we're in, like I said, uncharted territory. So close to 100 likes, ladies and gents. Smash them up. Smash them up. Welcome to the live stream, those of you just tuning in. Yes, I am on a treadmill. We're just getting the steps in, boys. That's all it is. Keeping it straightforward. How many more minutes are we going? Because I got work soon. Bro, you can come back. Come back when your work's done. Watch it during work. I don't know how ready you are to quit your job. I know many people are getting ready for that with this crypto bull market. Be careful, ladies and gents. Be careful. Your gains are gonna escape you potentially quicker than they got to you. For most of you. Yeah. Let's not get too cocky. But if we are getting ready to quit jobs, then fuck it, bro. Take this live stream straight in with you. I don't know. Not financial advice, right? Something like that. But yeah, we don't really have resistance here anymore. And we're proving that. We actually didn't have resistance above 120. I mean, a lot of trading happened. A lot of, interesting, important trading happened in these kind of price ranges here. But, this price range obviously ends at about 120. So, we didn't really trade up there, above there. Which is why every time that we got the break, it was a really quick move. I mean, from the point that we broke, an hour pretty much, and we've crossed 1.6%. On this occasion here, similar. You know what I mean? 7 hours, whatever. It's a couple of hours. It doesn't take much to push the price quite aggressively above resistance levels. It doesn't take much. Okay? And the reason it doesn't take much is because the market had never, the only trading Bitcoin had ever done inside of, above 120K happened right here. Okay? So, if that's the case, then clearly there was no real support or resistance established as the market was dropping down or going up. So naturally, you can't expect that the next time around. and you didn't get it the next time around. And so the time after that, it's even more obvious, right? That you're not going to get it. Bear with me, guys. I'm still having issues with my mouse. So let me see if I can fix this here. Because it is quite disruptive. But we can carry on just for a minute while I kind of try taking care of this. It looks like we're a little bit better here. So, you know, that tells me that basically, I mean, like I said, I think this could happen during this live stream. I really do. That, you know, we could see Bitcoin breaching its all-time high. And its all-time high, of course, sits at $123,200. So we are $400 away from Bitcoin's all-time high. $400 is probably equivalent to about, I don't know, 0.36% of Bitcoin. I don't know. Let me see if I can calculate that. What is that? 0.3637? Yeah, wow, that was pretty accurate. That was pretty accurate. Georider's at work. What's going on, man? Love it. Let's get it. Gotta wreck them shorts. Yeah, and that's gonna be an interesting thing to see, right? Do we have a lot of shorts kind of coming into this market right now? That, you know, perhaps many of them haven't actually been closed yet. You know, so that's something that we're gonna have to kind of take a look at. Do I believe that the M2 monetary supply has any correlation to assets like Bitcoin, crypto, and stock markets? Would love to hear your opinion on it. Short answer, no. I mean, it clearly does, and it clearly has predicted these moves. But I don't know how much you need the M2 chart for that. You know, I felt like our charts already told us a lot of the same conclusions. That's why I don't really like it. That's why I don't look at it with you. Let me be clear, ladies and gents. What I show you here on this YouTube channel is the full extent of my analysis skills. I do other stuff, and I know a lot of other stuff. But the core skills that I use in these markets to make money, and the core skills that I have used since I've started trading 8 years ago, are what I show you in these live streams. It's not more than this. There are occasions where I use different skills and different knowledge. And obviously, I know a lot. I've studied a lot around analysis and trading. I know a lot more than, you know, most people probably would. But I don't use it. And I don't need to use it. And I don't want to use it. I could get really nerdy about this shit. And we could lull ourselves into this false belief that the more nerdy we get and the more fringe techniques we use, the more money we're going to make. But it ain't fucking true. It's not true. And you don't want to do it either. Who the hell gets in the crypto market to make their life complicated? None of us got into the trading space so that our life becomes more complicated, more stressful. We make less money. We have more dissatisfaction. We're more on edge. Do you know what I mean? Is this Jason's cousin? I just took inspiration from him, bro. That's all. That's all. You know, none of us join crypto for that. We join crypto to make money. So if you're making money, who the hell cares how you're doing it? Your wife's not going to ask you which trading strategy you used when you buy her that Porsche. Do you understand what I'm saying, ladies and gents? Smash up the likes. We're about to push 100. Your wife's not going to ask you which trading strategy you used, bro. Even if you just bought and hold XRP. Yeah? And you wanted to go in that direction. Good for you. No one cares how you make the money. Okay? And if we can make the money without embarking on weird strategies that are time consuming, that require us to be locked down to a laptop, all that stuff. If we can make the money without doing that, then why the hell wouldn't we? And that's what we show as being very, very, very possible on this YouTube channel. Of course, those of you subscribed will know all about that. We're going to get that rect cam on the right-hand side here. It's, of course, hardly a rect cam at all. But, yeah, on the minute time frame here, we've been consolidating for about an hour. And we're really trying to pop. And this is what I'm talking about. We're constantly hitting this resistance level. Okay, the resistance, the rejections are not becoming faster. We're not rising up to this level faster right now, but we're constantly hitting it, and it's only inside of an hour time frame. So this is still an incredible frequency of hitting resistance. And that's the kind of thing that allows you to break out. The more you hit that resistance level... See, understand, ladies and gents, every time you hit resistance and the bears try taking control of the market... There we go, there's the pop. There's the pop, ladies and gents. $122,940. We are now sitting under $300 away from Bitcoin's all-time high. Smash up the likes, ladies and gents. This is absolutely sick. This is great. $122,944. And it's because every time you hit that resistance level and the bears try taking control of the market and the bears try dragging you down, every time that happens, ladies and gents, still pumping. Still pumping. There we go. Let's see if we can crack 123 right here. Let's see if we can get this, boys. Let's see. What are we looking at? This is a ridiculous time frame to be looking at the chart. This is so unhealthy. I only do this on stream. I really don't think that anybody should actually do this, like, in their life. I think this is a terrible idea. This is like one of the best ways you can fuck your mental health up. Is sitting in front of the chart. Like one of the quickest ways as well. I really don't recommend this. But you know, for YouTube videos, for entertainment, degen timescale, exactly. But, you know, for the purposes of these videos and live streams, you know, we can mess about a little bit. And what happens is every time you get rejections, the bears have a chance to take the market lower. But if the bears are not winning, meaning that bulls are keeping control of the market, bulls are taking us back up to resistance constantly, then that's going to send a message to sellers that, hey, okay, I get it, you want to sell, but you're clearly going to get better prices. So sellers stop selling. And all you have left are buyers. Bear in mind, every time we hit resistance, bulls are taking us back up to resistance. Bulls are taking us back up to resistance. So that gives you a lot of, you know, clear signs of strength in the market that we might be able to pop above resistance levels. And here we are, sitting $3 away from 123K. I honestly think if we can get above this round number, 123K, I think we could blast through that all-time high. I think we could do it quick. It's only $200 away. There's nothing. Let's mark... Let me get the exact price for the all-time high. 123,231. That's on Coinbase. So 123,231. Bear with. There we go. 232. Same thing. That's the all-time high. That yellow line right there. That is the level for us to beat, ladies and gents. So let's see how this goes. We'll keep this camera right here on the right-hand side of the screen. You can watch yourself make and lose money in real time. And we've got the bigger picture here. And the bigger picture is pretty clear. To me, at least. We had a clear resistance hit. It took us 30 days. It took us a month to get back up here. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's a pretty decent pullback. I'm sorry, that's a pretty decent correction time frame. Yeah, we're just kind of, you know, losing our footing right now on the minute time frame. No big deal at all. See what we got here in the live chat. You are the GOAT. Thank you very much. You've been on fire for the last few weeks, Sammy. Keep it up. Great information. Cheer me up on Litecoin a little bit more, please. Dude, Litecoin, like, I want to, you know, like, what I've been thinking is Litecoin is going to be a buy after it breaks out, you know, because, like, you don't want to be stuck holding that shit, like, while it's just going sideways for another potential market cycle. But if it proves itself, I mean, shit, you're going to have time, you know. I'm not going to get greedy and, like, try and say, hey, I need a 5% better entry because, you know, it pumped 7% on 24 hours. I'll just buy it, you know what I mean? Like, that's still, like, a 2-3x minimum if it kind of reaches some of its better Bitcoin targets. I'm not saying it'll do any of that. I'm really not. We need that dino narrative to come back, which could happen because as we get more liquidity, everybody's a little bit happier. Market narratives, you know, they start playing out again. You know what I mean? So we got Anglesey, North Wales. What's going on? See what we got in the live chat here. We got another treadmill trader. I'm a treadmill trader now. Brilliant. Empire Strikes Back theme. If she wants a Porsche, she has a good taste. Chance, you can only wife up girls that have good taste like that. We don't want no Lambo girls. She can have a Renault. I'll have the Citroen. Fair enough, bro. Fair enough. Sometimes you just need to get from A to B. I understand. I understand. I've started to grow up. I understand that too. All-time high. It depends. It depends where we are. Oh yeah, we have just popped above 123. There we go. Yeah, all-time high is going to be at different levels on different exchanges, but we're definitely off to a good start. Smash up those likes, ladies and gents, for that pop above 123. We're getting somewhere, ladies and gents. The Dusty Hunt newbie here. Just subscribe. Welcome to the channel, bro. As you're going to figure out pretty quickly, it's a pretty no-nonsense channel. We like to have fun. A little bit healthy. Discrimination. Doesn't hurt nobody. You know what I mean? We'll discriminate against everybody. Everyone gets their turn. Especially XRP holders. I don't care if they're making money. We're still going to rip into them. You know what it is, ladies and gents. It's a no BS, grounded, realistic technical analysis channel. That's what this is. We look at all the factors that matter. We don't look at anything beyond that. And then we try and see what's going to happen right now in the market to see where those gains are. Now, there is a really, really cool opportunity for those of you that are interested to check out 𝗙𝗢𝗟𝗟𝗓 here in the description. The team has been sending exclusive chart updates in there on coins that we're looking at, coins where we think there could be some interesting trades. We're sending updates in there, right there, in 𝗙𝗢𝗟𝗟𝗓. So check that out if you're not from a restricted region. 𝗙𝗙𝗟𝗟𝗓 gives you all the brilliant stuff you're used to. Great liquidity, proof of reserves, all that good stuff. But you're also getting incredible deposit bonuses, meaning that when you start trading, you're going to get a lot of cash for free. And all the buttons are the same. It's the same kind of exchange you've already used. So definitely well worth checking out. And Bybit's even cooler. Bybit now offers you traditional finance, stocks, forex, stuff like that, for you to be able to take advantage of. So that's really, really cool as well. Many of you may be interested in that. Maybe not. Maybe so. I don't know. But I think that's definitely pretty cool. All-time high party. We're getting close, ladies and gents. We're getting very close. We're sitting about $200 away from Bitcoin's all-time high. Are we breaking the resistance? I don't know, man. We'll see. We'll see. See, this is the dumb comment logic of people on YouTube that if I'm walking on a treadmill, I'm copying people. As if, like, the other 8 billion humans on this planet don't walk regularly, too. So now it's copying. It's ridiculous. Yeah, the UK's fucked up, man. The UK's messed up. I don't know what's going to happen to the UK, man. Should we check via Kraken, Bitstamp, or Coinbase Advanced? I mean, I don't know. I use Coinbase. They're all the same, really. I don't think you're going to get much difference. We have a CME gap at 117.5. I mean, sure. You know me. I don't really care about that stuff. But, you know, I know a lot of people do like to kind of watch that. Hammond Smith, your Bitcoin analysis and sentiment explanation is the best I've seen. That includes stock market and continuous and commodities analyst. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah, we do our best here. We do our best. Next pick after Porsche, you get another Porsche, brother. That's how this works. When you get a Porsche, you get another Porsche. It doesn't end. When you got good taste, it doesn't end. Can I draw a trend line from the 2022 bear market low and a secondary trend line on every leg up? Paints a beautiful picture. 2022 bear market low. Let's take a look. We'll do it on this chart. And we'll switch onto the daily. Yeah, this is a terrible experience using this mouse. It's Corsair. It's called, like, I'm moving my mouse and it doesn't want to move. I think you're talking about the logarithmic scale, because I don't think you can really draw a line without that. And nope, I don't know what line you want me to draw. If you have a line that you want me to look at, I think you should just send me the link to it. Just try and get me like a link, or you can send it to the team at 4flies on Telegram. It's also linked in the description. right here. This is also how you can reach out for our exclusive one-to-one package. Incredible value. It's expensive, but incredible value. Working one-to-one for 12 weeks. Need a few Macans, turbos, before they'll sell you a GT3. Yeah, but that stuff is super cringe. This, like, whole waitlist thing. Like, begging and bending the knee to get a car company to sell you a car or a watch company to sell you a watch. I can't get behind that stuff. I think it's pathetic. I think it's absolutely pathetic. I understand if there's, like, a supply issue. You know, that makes sense then. But there's a little dump right there. Tiny, tiny dump. Already getting bought back up. So we'll see how this continues to kind of play out for Bitcoin right here. But yeah, I don't really care for these like long-term trend lines anyway. I don't really look at them. I think what matters a lot more is just kind of where we are right now in the market. And you know, we're a hair length away or whatever the phrase would be, you know, from the actual all-time high. So I don't think it's going to be too crazy for Bitcoin to, you know, perhaps even set an all-time high today. Or we get a big rejection, but we're not going to do nothing. I think I can say that fairly confidently. I don't know. You already know the deal. Nothing here is financial advice. Always do your own research. Don't be an idiot. But I think we're going to see something nice today. You know what I mean? It might not be on this live stream. It might be. We'll see. We'll see. I know the market likes to move at times like this. And I think one of the very important things that we should be looking at right now is going to be the S&P 500. So let's take a look at that. Oh, it's closed. Probably just closed. Okay. So we did see, though, a pretty decent day for the S&P 500 today. We opened with by gapping higher, a little bit of a pullback. It seems like that happens a lot. You know, you get pullbacks at the beginning of the day and then you end up higher than where you started. We more or less did that today, pretty much finished where we started, but at least we took care of a pullback. Every time you take care of a pullback, you're less likely to get another one. You know what I mean? Now that you've done it, any supply that wanted to be sold is now sold. You don't have to worry about that supply anymore. You know, so I think that's actually really, really nice. Really, really useful for us. So I think that's pretty cool. Here's Bitcoin back above 123. Let's see how that continues to play out. Let's take a quick look at dominance, which is shooting back up. It did set a brand new low here for this little trend in this market at 59.09%. So that's quite a big pullback now. That's a 7% drop. And that's the maximum drop that we saw last time. This was after Trump got elected. The whole market went crazy. Because we're not going to have a fucking... Or, not we. You guys are not going to have a cucumber for... I say we, actually, and it kind of does apply. Because if, you know, if Americans get a shit president, the rest of the world suffers too. But 7%, you know, that was the biggest absolute drop that we've seen throughout this market cycle so far. 6.98. And today we're at 6.6. So we're still not even there. We still haven't even seen as big of a drop in Bitcoin's dominance as we saw last time. And bear in mind, the last time that this happened, Ethereum did not gain dominance in the market. Ethereum actually kept getting weaker. Little tiny drop here on Bitcoin right now. 122.9. Still dropping. 122.8. 875. Just bouncing around these levels here. We'll keep taking a look at this to see how this... Didn't the S&P close? It did close. It did close, yes. Reopens tomorrow now. But, you know, we didn't even see Ethereum kind of, you know, exercising any strength during this drop. It was all altcoins. But this time, it's pretty much all Ethereum so far. You know, and Ethereum is so close to its all-time high. It's within, like... I mean, like, probably, like, $50 away or something now. You know, like, $100 away. So Ethereum's basically there. And, my God, what a brilliant time for that to happen. I mean, Ethereum hasn't even hit macro resistance against Bitcoin yet. So I think this thing could fly a lot more. I've been saying this for ages. I've been saying this for a very long time. With a lot of confidence. Those of you subscribed to this channel, you're going to know all about that. We were tracking Ethereum all the way down. All the way down. And then all the way back up. Outlining that this would be a phenomenal buy zone. This, if we get it, would be a phenomenal buy zone. And I was surprised that we even got that. But that was definitely pretty impressive. And now a massive rise up. It's more than 2x from that buy zone that I described. Which is incredible because it's free money. It's Ethereum. We don't have to buy Ethereum and hold our balls being worried that they're going to get chopped off because the market's going to punish us for it. We don't have to worry about that. With other altcoins, you're going to have that worry. With Ethereum, most people don't have that worry. So it turns out to be free money, effectively. So that's really cool. But I don't think that's done. I don't think we're anywhere close to done. You know, we bring it back to that Bitcoin dominance chart. Look, one of two things is going to happen. It's going to drop down massively, then you're going to make a lot of money if you're in alts. Or it's going to go up massively, and you're still going to make a lot of money if you're in alts. Because that's going to give us even better entries. So I think, yeah, absolutely phenomenal position right now that we're seeing these markets in. Me personally, you guys know me. I want to see Bitcoin dominance moving up again. I would love to see Bitcoin dominance reclaiming these highs, reclaiming this high, and trending higher. I don't really know if that's going to happen anymore. I think that the chances of that happening are lower. It really depends. There's rumbles of another Israel-Iran war. That's obviously going to be, you know, a pretty good reason for media and retail and so on to kind of get spooked by the markets. That could happen as soon as the end of this month, September, or it could happen, you know, toward the end of this year. I don't know. Probably not many people do know. And that's just one of the things that could go wrong. We have a Trump president right now, don't we, in the world. So, obviously, everything's a little bit more unpredictable. And, you know, if you ask me, that's part of the fun. That's part of the fun. That's what you want to see. I mean, you know, that makes these markets stay fresh. That keeps people speculating. That keeps money moving in and out. Trump meeting on Friday, exactly. We've been talking about that a lot on this channel. Trump meeting Putin on US soil on Friday. That's a big deal. And I think that's why the markets have gone up during this period. I mean, I was very vocal about that since the weekend. Since Friday last week, I've been talking about this. That Trump is going to be meeting Putin on US soil and that is a very big deal. And it's probably going to make the markets very optimistic, and that's what we've gotten so far. That is really what we have gotten so far. Buyers need to sell their holdings for profit booking. That'll trigger selling. It could, but, you know, who wants to sell right now? You know what I mean? Like, it's just a straight line up for the most part. Pullbacks are getting eaten up pretty quick. Every time we get a pullback, they get bought back up quickly. You know what I mean? Like, these are things that really strengthen the market. What about a pullback to 90K? I mean, you know, I would love to see a deep pullback. You know me. I love deep pullbacks. The deeper we pull back, the harder we blow up afterwards, all right? That's well established. You can be a pussy about it, and you can reject these ideas. That's not going to stop those drops from happening. But is it actually going to happen realistically? I don't know. I don't know. I honestly think it's not so easy to answer. I don't, you know. We're going to need a pretty bearish environment for that to happen. And most importantly, we're going to need the S&P 500 to drop for that to happen. You know, and I don't think the S&P 500 is looking at dropping anywhere near close enough to justify a $90,000 Bitcoin. And on its own, how is Bitcoin going to drop down to 90K? Bitcoin doesn't even have a life of its own. That's been well established. That's something we've spoken about a lot on this channel. Bitcoin doesn't move in its own way. Smash up those likes, ladies and gents. Closing in on 150. Pump them up. If you haven't hit those likes already, smash them up, ladies and gents. Really appreciate all the support. Subscribe to the channel if you're brand new here. Like I said, very grounded, realistic analysis. We're not scared of offending anybody. We're looking to offend. It's fun. We need to soften up a little bit. Everyone's so tight and miserable. We used to be able to make fun out of everybody. Where's that gone? So we're doing a little bit of that on this channel too. Buy the rumor, sell the news on Friday. You know what? I was thinking that. I was thinking this could be one of those situations where you buy the rumor, sell the news. But who knows? Maybe there's a, you know, positive outcome from Trump Putin. You know what I mean? I think, you know, it depends on where the markets are. If Bitcoin can get, you know, well above 124 before that meeting happens, I think you know, and then if the meeting goes well, that's going to really amplify, you know, where this market can go. Right here on the edge of 123K again, $1 away, couple cents away from 123K. So let's see, we're watching that 1 minute time frame right here. We're going to take a look at some other charts in a bit, some altcoins, stuff like that. But right here, we are back above 123. And let's see if this can turn into a more meaningful push. Smash up those likes, ladies and gents. We're so close to 150. Smash them up. Oh, there we go. Flipped it. Back below. That's fine. That's okay. What's different today's rally? It's not manipulated. Means it's all small buyers. What's your point if small buyers don't hold for long? I don't really understand your point for your question. Maybe you can clarify that. I think he's going to win the peace prize, even if he doesn't. I think you're talking about Trump. I don't know. We'll see. I find those prizes to be quite corrupt, to be honest. I don't really look at them. Yeah, pretty steep pullback again here for Bitcoin. There's some fat-fingered selling going on here. I don't know how much of a problem it's going to be, though. I don't think much of a problem. I don't think it's going to be much of a problem, but I don't know. Ethereum and Bitcoin largely looking the same. I don't really care about Ethereum. It's Bitcoin I'm interested in right now. Am I on a treadmill? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Might stop this in a minute, though. I don't know. Could just keep on racking up the steps as well. Do you think Bitcoin market is coupled with the stock market and other traditional assets? I 100% believe that to be the case, yes. And I've been saying that for years. And I've only been proven correct over and over and over again. Nothing else. Nothing less. Only proven fully correct over and over and over. There are limited exceptions. But limited exceptions don't disprove the rule. We already know that. Pull back to 90k. I'm taking every loan I can get. Emptying 401ks. Rinsing grandma's couch. Recycling pop cards. My man Jamie's doing everything to buy Bitcoin down there at 90k. And I understand that. Yeah, I can see why you would say that. I just don't understand where the sentiment is when we were down at 20k. You know what I mean? Like, if you like, why do we need to romanticize 90k now? I'm not even commenting on you, Jamie. I love your comment. That was brilliant. But, you know, just in general, like, I've been around so many traders. 16k, yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I've been around so many traders that are rich. They're not actually traders. They're just rich from other stuff. And then they enter the markets, and they're late to everything. And they're like, bro, I'm bidding 70k. They're like, bro, I'm going to bid 100. I'm bidding 106. And I'm standing there like, dude, like, you had holdings of Bitcoin from, like, 10k. What the fuck are you doing, bro? Like, why do you want to, like, do you hate yourself? I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it. Why are we romanticizing such high price levels? Have we talked about Trump coin? No. No, let's take a look at Trump coin, because I'm personally very interested in Trump coin. Because just because it's very newsworthy. But, you know, it's had a pretty bad chart. It doesn't really move very much. You know what I mean? Like, Ethereum's at an all-time high. Bitcoin's at an all-time high. Trump is doing nothing. Trump is up. It's up by quite a bit. But I don't know. I think it could be doing way better. And I don't think that its resistance levels are super clear. You know, this is a really big box that I've drawn here. And in honesty, the box should be even bigger. You know, $9.87 up to $10.88. That's more than a 10% range. I think Trump coin is lagging, but who knows? I mean, obviously, I think it's going to catch up, and I think it's going to explode, and I think it's going to get, you know, potentially well above $10. I think you can even get above $17 up here. This like $16.20 area, like whatever, $16.10. I think Trump can get well above that even as well. But so far, lackluster performance. But you know what? It's not surprising, because Bitcoin hasn't really given altcoins a chance to go yet. It's only really Ethereum that popped off really hard. Other coins have popped. Other coins have done quite well. But not like Ethereum. You know? And usually that means that other coins are going to get their time to shine afterwards. Usually. Doesn't mean it's going to happen now, but that's usually how it goes. But Bitcoin right here on the minute time frame, just kind of figuring itself out. Getting comfy, basically. You know, that's my read on this kind of thing. We're getting comfy up at these levels. Previously, we couldn't even trade this high. We didn't even get this high when we hit this level a few days ago. We didn't. We hit 122.2. Today, we managed to get nearly $1,000 higher than that. And we're just getting comfortable with sitting up here. And that's what happens before you get that big explosion. So I'm loving this. I'm definitely loving this. Check out the Ichimoku cloud. Yeah, let's take a look at that. See what that's saying. I think all these indicators are right now just going to be telling us that we got a ton of support around where we are right now. Because we're in a decent uptrend, you know what I mean? Like, there's the hourly. Big bounce off the hourly Ichimoku. 4 hour, we haven't even seen it yet. We're only going to be able to enjoy that support toward the middle end of August. And that only will start kicking in at like 119, which we're now $3,000, $4,000 above that level. So, we don't have a lot of, you know, support from these kind of more midterm time frames, but that makes sense. This is not a midterm uptrend right now. This is a very short-term uptrend that we're in right now. And then obviously the daily chart, we haven't even found support in the Ichimoku cloud yet, which I think is a pretty clear kind of demonstration of just how much strength this market is carrying right now. You know? And I think that's a pretty important, like, pretty big deal. Just want to see how many kilometers I've done. I've done 2.5 kilometers now. That's not much. We're walking pretty slow. But slow is better. A little bit easier to do a live stream. My $1 of ETH is now $2. I fucked up. Yeah, you did, bro. You did. Yeah, that's pretty bad. I don't know how you're going to live that one down, bro. XRP is still the one. Probably is. Thank you, Sammy. I'll finish up the stream a little. Take it easy, bro. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you dropping by. Appreciate you dropping your comments. We've smashed through 150 likes, ladies and gents. Thank you very much for that. Smash them up if you haven't done so already. You gotta have the AC screaming in that hoodie. I mean, yeah. But that's normal, isn't it, out here? You're always putting the AC on. It's, especially in summer months, dude. It's pretty cooked. It's pretty cooked. But, yeah, daily Ichimoku cloud right there. Not looking like anything too crazy. It's definitely far away. EMAs, we've bounced off them on the daily here. Yup. 4 hour, we bounced off that. 1 hour, nowhere near. So maybe we're, you know, due for a little bit of recoiling now. Maybe we're due for a little bit of a pullback before things start getting exciting again. I don't know. I don't think so. I think we're still looking good. I think, you know, if we can stay basically above this level right here, which on this chart, you know, we can mark it with a horizontal right there. I think if we can stay above 122.2 right here, Bitcoin's probably in a good place. You know, anywhere above that, Bitcoin's still in a pretty good place in my books. You know, purely because it's the previous place that Bitcoin topped out at. You know, and after we kind of, you know, got above this level, that's where the range got a little bit kind of mushy, a little bit ambiguous. So I think below that, we can start to get big, steep drops again. But, you know, until and unless we get there, it's looking good. I mean, it's obviously, you know, quite late to be going long and stuff like that. But I think, you know, from those kind of perspectives, yeah, it's looking pretty good. It's okay, young genius knew what I was talking about. There you go. Brilliant. Yeah. Yeah, I could tell. Probably look like a weird iOS keyboard autocorrect or something. We good. Gonna ease up. Watch. I don't know what that means, bro. So I think the dollar index is going lower. It is going lower, bro. The dollar index has been going lower for some time, which I was a little bit surprised by. I didn't think Trump would want that to happen, but I think Trump doesn't care about the dollar as much right now, which makes sense, you know? I think Trump, realistically, is only going to care about the dollar to the extent that the dollar is stronger than other currencies, which, granted, it's not right now. It's gotten a lot weaker. Bear in mind, Trump was elected here. It saw a big run-up initially, and now the dollar is trading lower. Well, it's not trading, but the dollar is lower than, you know, like a pretty decent chunk of Biden's presidency. But is that concerning? I don't think so. Yeah, the dollar is a little bit weaker, but it's not like America got weaker compared to the rest of the world. That's a fantasy that, you know, America haters want you to believe, but, you know, there's too much pride wrapped up in those arguments. They're not actually thinking about anything they're saying. Trump said strong dollar is good, low dollar makes shit ton of money. It's true. Yeah. I mean, you know, when the dollar is low, we're going to be making a little bit more money. It's good for exports, for monarchy. There are benefits. There are benefits to having a strong dollar and a weak dollar. You know what I mean? It's both. It goes both ways. But I think the bottom line is, you know, it's more headline worthy for Trump if those indices, you know, those stocks and so on are doing well. Loving the treadmill. Yes, bro. Yes, bro. We're getting the steps in. It's so we pay less on exports. Yeah, of course. I mean, you know, you're saying that like it's an intentional thing. Maybe it was. Maybe it wasn't. I don't know. But I think the bottom line is that America is a hell of a lot stronger compared to the rest of the world today than it was a year ago from today. You know what I mean? That's what I think. Greg is saying I have low volume, but I really don't think that's the case. You guys let me know in the live chat if the volume's not looking good. But Greg, it's probably on your side. I haven't touched the settings for quite a while. Maybe just check if your application needs to have the volume turned up. Goes nay. Right. I'm not trying to get my dog walking on this treadmill with me. Think he meant in the market right now? Yeah, he probably did. He probably did mean in the market. Nay. He's gonna freak himself out if he stands on this treadmill. Sounds okay to me. I beat the boss baby. I beat the boss baby. Running on low. Didn't he launch a meme coin? Standard, to be honest. I mean, what else do you do if you're like a fucking Essex boy from England that goes famous for 2 seconds? That's your chance to make a bag. What else are you gonna do? You're just gonna launch a meme coin, aren't you? I don't even know if he's from Essex. He's spiritually from Essex, isn't he? That much we can say for sure. That he's spiritually from Essex. He'll tell you he's from East London. That's what I don't like about people from Essex. Be like, where are you from? I'm from East London. No, you're fucking not, bro. You're from Essex. You're not from East London. It's funny. My British friends will understand. But yeah, he made a meme coin. He had 5 seconds of fame. Everyone forgot about him already. Muslim boss baby. What's that? What's a Muslim boss baby? Someone from Birmingham? I don't know. Someone from Bradford? I've been to Bradford. That was an interesting place. Bradford's interesting. Bitty low volume, yeah. Yeah, but I'm not worried about low volume. That's kind of standard these days. Like, even on pumps. I don't really look at that too much. I don't really concern myself with that kind of stuff too much. But yeah, 122.9, still sitting pretty stable right now for Bitcoin. Bin bag boss, baby. Yeah, 122.9, it's whatever. We're just, like I said, we're just getting comfortable. If I was a bear, I wouldn't want to see this. That's my point. You know, like, if you're hitting resistance levels and you're bearish, you want to see big drops coming off those resistance levels. Yeah, you want to see the price... What is going on, ladies and gents? You want to see the price doing something a little bit like this. But we haven't gotten that. Look, we started the first drop over here. You know, when did this first drop happen? Yeah, like 23 minutes ago. It's been 23 minutes. We haven't produced a significant drop yet. Now, if we drop below this low right here at about 122.750, we might see a bigger drop. But my point is that if you're bearish, and let's say you're taking shorts, you're trying to push the market lower from these kind of levels, and the market's not going lower, and you're in an uptrend, and the bulls are still knocking on that door of 123k, that's not going to make you want to stay in your short position. That's actually going to make a lot of people start reconsidering their short positions. Now, granted, we're on the minute time frame, so take everything I say about the minute time frame with a massive, massive, massive pinch of salt, because it's too oversimplified. What I'm saying applies a lot more on the larger time frames, which we see a lot on the larger time frames as well. Shout out Ilford gang, not East London or Essex, just caught in between. Ilford gang, my god. 82 million short dead ahead, interesting. It's time to sell everything, get paid and weigh in, 4 weeks left to buy. XRP finna pop. Where's XRP? It's looking good, it'll pop in its own time. XRP maintains its own schedule. Don't work on anybody else's schedule. We're creeping up to 200 likes, ladies and gents. Smash them up if you haven't done so already. Appreciate all the support. Where are we at? I want to see how many kilometers I'm at now. It's only about 10 minutes ago I checked, didn't it? Now I'm at 2.86. Not bad. A wise man once said, logarithmic scale only for bigger time frames. Thoughts? It's probably correct. Logarithmic scale on every time frame, I would say. Probably better. I do both. I like both. We got any questions in the live chat today, ladies and gents? I'm going to stay on for a little bit longer, see if anything happens. Otherwise, we're probably going to be wrapping this up somewhat soon. 15 likes away from 200. Smash them up, ladies and gents. Appreciate all the support. Closing in. We're closing in. I would hate to be short here. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, if you're short right now, again, like I said, minute time frame, very oversimplified. But if this happened on a, let's say this was the hourly, you don't want to be in a short on this kind of chart. I'm talking about this chart on the right. You know, this chart on the right shows you that, you know, bears are not getting their way with the market. I hate this mouse. I hate this mouse. Don't buy 𝗙𝐿𝐶𝐿. Don't buy 𝗙𝐿𝐶𝐿. Absolutely, absolutely terrible. I only did it because I wanted all these buttons, you see. No, you can't see them. Never mind. There's 12 buttons on the side of my mouse. You know, and it helps me do stuff like, you know, shortcuts. But if the mouse don't work, then the mouse don't work. You know what I mean? It's just a waste at that point. Anyway, I'm back on the other mouse here. What's this button? What's this button? Okay. Just familiarizing myself with my shortcuts. If you're short, the gel is not for your hand. I don't understand what that means. I don't know if you're making a reference to something. Yeah, bear with. I just gotta adjust a couple things here on my side. Should be quick. Alright, this should be better. I got the same mouse, lots of little glitches. Yeah, it's the scimitar or something. Scimitar, I don't know. It's like a gaming MMO mouse. Yes, brother. Given how intelligent you are and your knowledge on the market, why don't you implement Elliott wave theory in some of your analysis? I honestly reckon you would absolutely nail it. I would like to believe that the reason I don't do Elliott wave theory analysis is because of the first part of your question. That I'm intelligent and that I have knowledge in the market. But to give you a more realistic answer, I just don't like Elliott wave theory. I've tried it, I've used it, I've understood it. I've understood it as much as I could. And I never felt like it was particularly useful. How the fuck do you know that we're only getting 3 waves up in an uptrend and then we're getting an ABC? You don't know that. And when you plot it on a chart, you start cheating. If you have to cheat to make the chart fit your tool, then I don't know how correct you are. You know what I mean? It's a genuine question. It's a genuine question. So close to 300 likes. We're 6 likes away. Smash them up, ladies and gents. Appreciate all of that. Yeah, I'm just not a fan of Elliott wave theory. I mean, I could try, you know, but like, I know what works. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just doing what works. I'm not trying to get too crazy with this. $6 billion in liquidations at 125k will be the second largest liquidation ever. Crazy. That is pretty crazy. I would love to see that. I'd love to see that right now on this stream. Found an ergonomic mouse on Temu. Looks hard, honestly. A unique design. That's very cool. I don't know how products are off Temu. 200 likes, ladies and gents. Thank you all so much. Appreciate that. Thank you for all the support today on this live stream. You know, I don't really like looking at individual altcoins on these live streams because there's nothing to say about them. They all move in the same way. Some will move a little bit differently, and we got a request for Link. And Link is going to be one of those that will move slightly differently. But for the most part, they're really not that important to look at. Chainlink right now looks like it's sitting up against some macro resistance, but it also doesn't look particularly clear. Frankly, though, I don't care about any of these charts unless they're against Bitcoin. What I like about Chainlink is that it's one of those made in America coins. So it's got that backing from the White House and the Trump family. World Liberty Fi. And against Bitcoin, it's up against some serious resistance. But if it can get above this resistance, you're looking at some quite violent rises up for Chainlink. But is that different to any other major made-in-America coin? No, not really. Not really. You know what I mean? Not really. It's got the same chart as everything else. It's a good chart. It's a promising chart. You don't want to buy these coins when they're already pumping. You want to buy them at the bottom. What happened with my collapse, like with MDX? Would you consider working with bcash or 𝐒𝐀𝐈𝗟𝗟𝗓 if they was game? P.S. Where the fuck is 𝗙𝗘𝗃𝗍𝒅? I don't know what you mean by collapse. I really have no idea what your comment's about. MDX is a legend. He's the first legend, really. Don't know who bcash or 𝗒𝐈𝗟𝗓𝗏 is. I think I've heard of 𝗒𝐈𝗟𝗏. I don't really like doing collabs. We can do them. We can do them. You know what I mean? But, I just don't look at anyone's analysis these days. At all. No exceptions. I got my team internally. We talk. You know what I mean? We discuss the markets. That's it. What else do I need? I don't need everyone else's opinion. You know what I mean? I don't want everybody else's opinion. Don't want anybody else's opinion, actually. You know? And I think that's where you all want to get to as well. I can't speak for you guys, obviously, but I think everybody realistically should want to get to a place where you don't want to... Like, you can watch one or two channels, you know? You can watch one or two. Like, if 𝗙𝗘𝗃𝗪𝗏 was still around, you're asking me, where is he? I don't even know, bro. But, you know, if 𝗙𝗘𝗃𝗪𝗏 was still around, yeah, I'd watch every single video. You know, Ben Cowan. I know a lot of people like Benjamin Cowan. You know what I mean? Like, there are a couple of people that are worth watching. But for the most part, man, like, even if it's me, like, you don't even need my channel. I got a friend who I've known for many years from Dubai. And this guy's rich. Yeah, he's got money. This guy's got a lot of money. And he started trading in the markets recently. Not crypto. He's, like, doing options and stuff like that. Stocks. And he starts telling me his trading strategy. Bear in mind, I've not spoken to him about this. And if you know me, you're going to know my trading strategies are very simple. Very straightforward. I've already told you guys all about them. I don't really leave secrets. Wasn't Kirby a perma bear? I think he was bearish more often than other people, and he was right a hell of a lot more often than most people as well. Perma bear is too simple. You know what I mean? And I think that's one of the, I think one of the reasons is like that. Man, that motherfucker doesn't need to, you know, like, he doesn't need to make videos. I think many people that you want to listen to, they don't need to make videos. So when you see stupid comments like that, I'm not saying that your comment was stupid. You know, you're just asking a question. But, you know, you get a lot of other, you know, very stupid comments. You know, and I'm like, you don't even need to be there, you know what I mean? Like, that guy's well off. You know, I think it's just not interesting. And I really don't blame him. I really don't blame him. After one of your videos, I unfollowed a lot of news sources and lots of people on Twitter. It changed a lot for me. There you go. Did it change for the better? Did it change things for the better? Or worse? Or was it kind of in the middle? Like, what was that change? Tell me about that. Bitcoin's pushing up again. Let's see. We got a nice little 1 minute candle right here. We'll keep watching that. But this is what I'm saying. Like, you know, like, you don't need to watch a lot of people. And I think realistically, we should all basically just want to be in a place where we can do this analysis ourselves without even watching this channel. That's the worst thing I could say as somebody making videos for this channel. I shouldn't be saying that, but it's the truth. So I'm damn well saying it, ladies and gents. That's what this is about. It's just not useful for most people. I'm saying after you know, you can kind of do the ABCs of this stuff yourself. But that's why I tried to keep this channel, you know, very grounded. Very relatable. You know. I think a lot of other people, they kind of lose touch. Agree, but sometimes you need a mentor or someone to guide you a bit. I mean, yeah. Mentors are helpful, whatever. Not everyone's gonna get a mentor though. And I think if you kind of if you lead yourself into a belief that if you don't have a mentor you can't do well, that's not good. That's not good. My brain is getting oxygen depraved. What tells you that? What's making you say that? Am I showing signs? What are the signs? I think we're going to stick on here for like another 5-10 minutes, see if anything happens with Bitcoin. I guarantee if I go off stream, Bitcoin's going to pump again straight away. But I tell you what, we'll just be live again if that does happen. So just make sure that you got that bell icon checked. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you're in the free Telegram channel linked in the description where we give you updates on our live streams. Solana is just sitting above $200 right now. Doing pretty nice. Time is the best mentor. It might be. It might be. Don't give up. I mean, I'll come back, you know, if it starts popping off. But we'll see. We'll see. This treadmill's got to get stopped now, though. Alright. Feels nice to stand still here for a second. Lots of friends I help out won't say that I'm a mentor, but need some help, all free. But some need help. It's just waiting for the moving averages to catch up. Patience. Yeah, that makes sense. Waiting for the moving averages to catch up. That's something that I like to say quite a bit as well. Don't forget to stretch. I need to do stuff like that. Definitely need to do stuff like that. My girl's been trying to get me to do yoga. I can't do yoga, boys, can I? Isn't that like anti-alpha doing yoga? I don't know. You'd pay to see me do yoga. Honestly, hard as fuck. Paying to see me do yoga makes me feel a little bit objectified. Probably have to do yoga, don't we? I think we all do. I think we all got to do something like that. Shavasanas are great. I have no idea what that is. Is that like a section of yoga? I think my girl's just gonna put a YouTube video on, bro, and get me to like hold my breath in weird positions. I can't imagine it's gonna be more than that. How's the USD index doing? It's been a while since we looked at its correlation with stocks and crypto. Actually, we looked at it about 20 minutes ago, so just rewind the live stream. How's it doing? You know, it's clearly kind of paving the way for these markets to do well. It's been dropping a little bit. That's really all I can say on that. I don't want to read into it too much. I don't think it's that important. I've done yoga. I'm way too stiff to do it. But like if you unstiffen that and you fix that problem, won't you feel like you're 8 years old again? I'm serious. I'm serious, because like when you're a child, what do you mean stiffness? There's no such thing. And if you can feel that way as an adult, that sounds pretty good. Like I go to the gym, you know what I mean? And like, you know, weight training, standard stuff like that. But that stiffens you up. Here's a little tiny drop right here. 112.7 right here, dropping as we speak. Let's see what the market does with this. Suze is doing yoga now. It's only anti-alpha if you do yoga to meet women and are not the instructor. If you do it with your girlfriend, definitely alpha. Well, that's an interesting perspective. Why is it anti-alpha if you only do it to meet women? Sounds like a fantastic way to meet women. Good-looking women as well. What's anti-alpha about it? Probably that it's a bit desperate. That's probably the weird part. That's probably going to be the weird part to that. There's only pain after 35. Yeah, I've heard. I've heard bad stuff. Got a few dumbbells too. Yep. You have to be instructor to be the alpha. I've seen bad stuff happening with yoga instructors. GTA 5 taught me not to trust them. And tennis coaches, isn't it? Both of them. Isn't that just a brilliant, you know, just the most brilliant way for things to play out? 𝗦𝗢𝗟𝗟𝗓𝗪 in LA, and then the yoga instructor takes your wife. That just sounds so American Dream to me. I need GTA 6, boys. We need GTA 6. Battlefield 6 looks good. I didn't play Battlefield 6 over the weekend. There's one more beta for those of you that are gamers. There's one more beta for Battlefield 6, and it's happening this weekend. And Battlefield 6, I swear to you, if you haven't seen it yet, it looks identical to Battlefield 3 and 4. More like Battlefield 4. You know, which is, I think most of you guys are probably going to appreciate that if you've played it. Get married, make a lot of babies, you'll get real fit, be happy and strong. Yeah, I think so. I think that's the way. We'll see. We'll do something about that. Beta starts tomorrow. It starts tomorrow? Oh, yeah, it does. Yeah, it starts on the 14th. It does start tomorrow. Okay. I got a weird laugh. Thank you. Appreciate that. Creepers on the back of the yoga classes. Yeah, that is a bit weird, isn't it? Is that a thing then? Do guys actually do that regularly? Because I was like, I know that people are thinking about this, but who's actually going to go and do it? You know what I mean? Like, if you're the kind of guy that goes to yoga to, like, hit on girls, you're also probably the guy that doesn't follow through on hitting on girls. That's what I thought. Battlefield going to take COD out of commission. Well, they need to. And what I really like about Battlefield 6 is they're finally listening to the community and they're not being gay about the whole game. That's a really big deal. You know, like, you don't need everything to be fucking gay. A little bit's nice, you know, balance it out. But everything, I don't know. You know what I mean? So, they really got COD wrong. But, Battlefield 6 looks like they're fixing it. And you know what's really good is that if Battlefield 6 does truly fix it, and by the way, they have to. You know what I mean? Because it's October, they're releasing it, and then you wait like another, what, 7 months? And GTA 6 comes out. Sammy, you should start giving dating advice. Thank you. Well, there's a lot of unsolicited, terrible advice on my Twitter. If you like a little bit of shit posting, then you're gonna love my Twitter. Because it's just shitposting central, ladies and gents. It is just absolutely disgusting. And we're good with it. We're good with it. Let me pull up my Twitter here. Bear with. There's terrible, just, you know, we're just having fun with it. We're just some people take this shit too seriously. That's okay. But it's good stuff. It's good stuff. The world's gone full gay. It really has, like, too much. You know, like, obviously most people don't even care about gay people existing and doing their thing and whatever, but, like, shoving it down everyone's throat? Yeah, that was a failed experiment, wasn't it? That was definitely a failed experiment. Those motherfuckers just look crazy. They look fucking psycho. Those tweets go hard, yeah. Let's read one of them. Just manifested abundance, babe. Pipe down. Money doesn't come from crystals. It comes from violence, financial violence, market violence, competitive violence. I've never met a millionaire who meditates. I've met plenty who murder, metaphorically. Your vision board won't save you. Your competitor is studying your weakness right now while you're burning sage. Execution is the only law markets respect. Everything else is poverty with extra steps. Manifest this. 100 cold calls before noon. If you're in sales, if you're in something like that, 100 cold calls before noon. Taking your competitor's biggest client. Take their wife too. Working while they sleep. The universe doesn't owe you shit, but the market pays for blood. Look, we're being dramatic. We're dialing it up a little bit. But it's true. The sentiment here is real. There was one here that was really, really very relevant. You wake up at 5 a.m. to do what? Read your shit ideas faster, execute your week plans earlier, fail with more consistency. Discipline on trash is still trash. It's just more organized. It's like putting premium petrol in a Corsa or a Micra. For those of you that are in North America. A waste of fucking energy. Before you optimize your routine, optimize your vision. Most disciplined men I know are broke. They have a perfect morning routine. I know so many guys I grew up with a perfect morning routine. They do everything right by the book. They journal, cold shower. They edge but don't finish. They go the whole 9 yards. But there's no fucking money in the bank. So what are you doing it for? To say that you're disciplined? Okay. Where's the car? Where's the first class flights? Where's the promises? Where's the debt paid off? But you've got a routine. I don't know. Okay. Still making £40,000 a year because they're disciplining their way to average. Meanwhile, lazy geniuses make millions from one good idea executed once, properly. Discipline is a multiplier. But 0 times anything is still 0. Level up your thinking first. Shit ideas plus discipline equals shit results faster. At least it's fast. Good ideas plus discipline equals good results faster. At least it's fast. And so on. I see you waking up at 4 a.m., working on your shitty dropshipping store, selling phone cases, making £500 a month. That is not discipline. That's delusion with an alarm clock. Get better ideas and then apply force. Otherwise, you're just a very organized loser with good habits and shit outcomes. The cemetery is full of disciplined men who multiplied the wrong things. Don't be next. You know, there's a brilliant quote from, what was it? Like Joyner or J. Cole. I think it was J. Cole. I love J. Cole. I love that kind of rap. And it was like, you know, the good news is you came a long way. The wrong news is you went the wrong way. A lot of people do that. A lot of people are on that wave. They're moving far, but they're not moving in the right direction. What's it worth? You know what I mean? What's it worth then? Alright, we got some legal cases flying around. We got 𝗙𝗢𝗟𝗟𝗢𝗪 on the timeline. Twitter's been nice. We got 𝗙𝗢𝗟𝗟𝗪𝗓 flexing his profits again. Again. This guy is on a different level. I'm sorry, ladies and gents, but your world leader is not flexing their P&L. Only El Salvador gets this level of alpha. Those tweets go hard. Love it, yeah. Dude, just don't know how you evolved and matured so young in life. Many old men die as boys who never grow up. Thanks, man. I think it was, you know, being online. You know, like I had a lot of really good role models. I met a lot of really good people through being online. But you don't need to meet people. I just consume the right stuff. I mean, online you can do anything, right? Like you can I've been on all corners of the internet. You know, I've seen the stupid shit. I've seen the beautiful stuff. And you just lean into whatever side of the internet you want in your life. And it's pretty clear. Motherfuckers will do anything except for getting a job. Jamie said, I bet my life savings and 𝗙𝗟𝗟𝗪𝗪 bet his whole country. That's brilliant. I was a sponge. Yeah, and actually that's a big part of it, Dave. I got red-pilled on the internet when I was in my teen years. And I was also doing the nonsense, like, you know, Fortnite, whatever that was of the day. Obviously, for me, it was Call of Duty, GTA 5, stuff like that. GTA 5 was launched in 2013. I was 12 years old. You know, like, that was a long time ago. So I lived my life during those periods. And then, I am still in my 20s. Yeah, I'm 24. I lived my life during those periods. And those were formative years. And I chose the right role models. That's what I try and tell people. You know, and young people. So I got a lot of young people that follow me. You know, because they see a young guy, obviously Indian heritage, Paki heritage. You know, so a lot of people from that part of the world get inspired that, okay, you know, one of us can do something. You know, and this is what I tell them. I'm like, you know, you're young. Like, grab life by the balls. Otherwise, like, you're going to have a shit, you know, time in your 20s. Nobody wants a Lambo when they're 50, when they're 60. You want the nice cars now. You want that stuff now. Those later years, you have fun with your family. But when else in life? You're going to have a beautiful blonde chick sat by your side in a Ferrari while you speed down at breakneck speeds listening to The Weeknd on a mountain pass. When else in life are you going to do that? Do you know what I mean? Obviously, I'll never break the speed limit. That would be wrong. That would be really bad. Not a whole lot going on Twitter right now. Bitcoin trading at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is going to be the only time you get sequential numbers on price until 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is very cool. That is very, very cool. And that's very close. Where are we right now for Bitcoin? Yeah, dipping down a little bit. Like I said, still the same thing. Just getting comfortable at these price levels. That's all I see here. And we can see this if we zoom in a little bit. We're just getting more and more familiar with these price areas here, which is a very good thing. It's a very good thing in my books. All right, ladies and gents, I'm going to take a couple last questions, and I'm going to be heading off for this live stream. I really want to thank all of you for the love, support, engagement on this live stream. It's been a brilliant one. Good price action. Lots we've covered here. If we have any final questions, I'll take them now. And this will be the end of the live stream. And if something interesting happens between now and, you know, tomorrow, we'll probably be live. I got alarms. I can wake up. You know what I mean? If something happens while I'm, you know, while I'm away. But what is your? I don't understand that question. 𝗙𝗢𝗟𝗟𝗪𝗓. Is that a coin? If it's a coin, I'm not going to look at it. Thanks, Sammy. Really appreciate your thoughts and analysis. Yeah, you're very welcome, mate. You're very welcome. And if you guys want to see the shit posting on Twitter, that's linked in the description right here. If you want to get inside our exclusive program, 1-to-1, 12 weeks, incredible value. Here's the link on screen right here. Remember, the team will get back to you with that information. Much love, bro. I've wanted to ask, how many hours do I sleep? Obviously aiming for 8. Always aiming for 8 hours. It depends. Is Bullish a popular crypto exchange? I've never heard of it. I've never heard of it. Alright. Probably start wrapping this one up here. Especially since it doesn't look like we're getting too many questions in to wrap this live stream up. Just IPO'd today. Okay. When I was on the come up, did I sleep 8 hours? Probably. Because I read Why We Sleep by Matthew Walker. He's a brilliant British scientist. I believe he's out in California, isn't he? And I read his book about sleep early on. Like, it would have been like 2017, 2018. Although, to be fair, by then I already had some money. But, I mean, you know, I always slept in it, you know. School was the worst thing ever for my sleep, you know what I mean? But obviously I dropped out of school, so that fixed that. And Bitcoin is dipping pretty hard right now, 122.4. Let's see, I marked my level at 122.2 and we're getting very close to that level. As long as we hold that level, I'm fine. But if we lose that, yeah, we're probably coming down for another back test. We're probably coming down for another pullback. I don't think it'll be, you know, game-changing or particularly terrible if that happens. I still think Bitcoin's going to break the all-time high. I still think it's looking good. Doge TA, bro. Doge is looking the same as everything else. Doge is at the mercy of Bitcoin dominance. And we've looked at Bitcoin dominance quite a lot. Peter Thiel created bullish exchange with BlackRock backing. I'm going to need a source on that one, bro. That's a big claim. A Peter Thiel crypto exchange. I don't know about that, bro. What's he doing in the crypto exchange world? Isn't that guy rich enough already? No, there's no such thing, of course. Of course not. Yeah, a little bit of a dip right now. Really not concerning at all. Even if we lose our standing, you know, we've got support down at like 120, whatever. But like, I think we'll probably bounce off this. You know, I don't think this is going to be too much of a problem. Thiel bought all the warehouses north of Palm Springs to mine crypto. No way. What? Why are there warehouses north of Palm Springs? Isn't it super hot north of Palm Springs? Isn't that where the Mojave Desert is? Isn't that like the worst place in the world to run a mining rig? Don't you want to do it in a cave? My honest opinion on AVAX is the same as every other altcoin, which is that it's probably looking good right now, but it depends on Bitcoin's dominance. If you're worried about selling for break even, then you probably have too much money in the market, and that's probably a sign to sell for break even. If you have too much money in the market, you're not going to be able to make decisions independently. You're going to be in a lot of trouble. You're going to be in a lot of trouble. That's where the hydro-cannabis was grown. The sun for solar... Okay, yeah, solar energy. And the county subsidized a lot of the real estate there. Okay, that makes sense. I do, man, but it's spot holding. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's spot holding, bro. If you're over-allocated, you're over-allocated. You lose your objectivity. You're unable to make good decisions. It doesn't even matter if you make money. You'll make money on bad foundations, and then you'll lose it. There's no winning. There's no winning when you're not following the right principles, bro. I mean, maybe there is. Maybe you're the exception. There are exceptions, but you know what I mean? Like, it's not worth banking on that, in my opinion. But yeah, if we lose 122, we're probably back down to about 120. As long as we don't drop below kind of 119.6, I think we're pretty good. I grew out my hair. Yeah, I did. I did. We'll take care of that in a bit. What percent of one's net worth is too much to have in the markets? Is it 70, 80%? I don't know, man. Depends on the person. Really depends on the person. You know, a lot of people can comfortably put their whole life in Bitcoin. When was the last time I tipped some Satoshis to a homeless man? I've never tipped Satoshis to a homeless man. I don't actually tend to give money to homeless people anymore. I used to when I was younger. I used to do that a lot. But these days I don't even see them. I'm not even in the areas where those people are. And I think, you know, like, tipping homeless people is the wrong approach. It's the wrong approach. There's way better ways to give charity if that's what you want to do. You got wind farms and lots of sun in Palm Springs. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Palm Springs must be nice. I've never been there. I feel like I've been there, though. Like, it feels familiar, but I don't think I've ever been there. I went to Joshua Tree. Joshua Tree's nearby. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why it feels like I've been to Palm Springs. Buy homeless beer and cigarettes. That's true charity. I mean, I would do that. I wouldn't mind buying them some beer and cigarettes. You know what I mean? But, like, I don't know. I agree 100%. Tipping people on the streets in most cases ends up a waste. It is a waste. You don't even feel good about it. You want to help somebody, like, go to an animal shelter or, like, you know, like, contribute to building a school or something nice, you know? But, like, I don't know, man. A lot of TA gurus are saying that this bull market will run into Q2 2026. What are my thoughts? I've been saying that for a while. I've been saying that for a while myself. I really believe so. America's birthday, America's 250th birthday is next year, and we got Trump as president. So, you know, I definitely think that it's going to have to be a year that a lot of Americans make money. That's why I like the Made in America coins. Wasn't there speculation on, like, less taxation for Made in America coins as well? Like, something weird like that. Probably not exactly that, but there was something. Nerd Alert says, I live in Palm Springs 5 months a year. You want to be in Indian Wells, not Palm Springs. There are tons of billionaires there, but only 5 months and 30 days because of income tax. What? How does that even make sense? You're still in California. And what is Indian Wells? Is that near, like, Coachella? I don't even know. Q2 2026, that's overshooting the cycle timeline. I don't think so. I don't think so. I made quite a few videos on stuff like that recently, and I think that, you know, we're quite comfortably going to be trading into 2026 staying bullish. No capital gains tax on US coins. XRP to the moon, baby. See, that's the thing that's surprising. Is that actually real? Because if that's real, then, like, it's game over. You know, because those are already strong coins. Why is the December run-up do so much better than right now? Is it? Is it? I don't know. You look very cool in your new long hair. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. On a serious note, why Sailor doesn't know that Bitcoin is going to go down from the top 75%? Already happened 3 times. He probably does know that. I wouldn't expect that he doesn't know that. After 6 months, you have to pay California income tax and can't declare your residency anywhere else. Indian Wells is close to Coachella. Also, you can put your crypto into 401ks here. That makes sense. But now I'm wondering, if you're a billionaire, why are you in Palm Springs instead of San Diego County, OC? Even LA County. Like, especially if you're looking at, like, San Diego, that kind of pocket, Encinitas, you know, like, around there. If you're a billionaire, okay, country clubs, okay. Okay, that makes sense, yeah. I don't know, like I said, I haven't been there. It strikes me as a place similar to Dubai, which is to say, like, really hot, very deserty. Yeah, Newport Beach, you know what I mean? If Bitcoin is above 160k before the end of the year, I think that's, like, very, very, very possible. What chances will you give us of being bullish into Q2 2026? I don't think it matters about the price. I think it matters about the S&P 500. I don't see Bitcoin entering a bear market without the S&P 500 entering a bear market, and I don't see the S&P 500 entering a bear market anytime soon. For lots of facts, like the fact that we retested the previous all-time high recently, that's usually something that happens in early waves of market cycles. And if it's early, that means that we've got a lot more left. And there's a lot more like that. There's interest rates cutting. You know, there's a lot of good stuff here at play. And I don't see the S&P 500 entering, you know, any kind of bearish territory. So I don't see Bitcoin doing that either then. Mo says, I doubt it'll be 0% capital gains tax for made in America coins on US for US people. I have a feeling this will only occur after proper regulations. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. I mean, you know, like 0% CGT is crazy. There's no way America would do that. There's no way. The Vintage, El Dorado, Country Club, they all live in Indian Wells when the weather is shit everywhere else. Summertime, everyone leaves to live where income tax costs less, like Texas. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. And it would be nice, because Palm Springs is going to be a little bit more red. You're away from all the crazy people in LA and all that stuff. I can see it. I can see it. I got to check it out. I don't know though. I don't really get the point in playing these games avoiding tax, you know? Like, you're still paying your federal rates. Nothing's going to let you get away from that. What, you're going to save like 13%? Okay, fine. 13 is a lot. 13 makes a difference. But what if you don't want to, like, travel every 6 months? Maybe you do, but maybe you don't. I don't know. When will alts make a move? Probably when Bitcoin stabilizes, isn't it? But right now, Bitcoin's still trying to push. Bitcoin's still trying to push. Drop down, recovering quite a bit of that drop. I said I would leave like 20 minutes ago. Like the 2021 pumps, yeah, that's going to happen probably later stages in these bull market. And that's again why I don't think that we're close to the end of this market cycle. You know, because when alts start going crazy, they're probably going to keep going crazy for like 6 months, 8 months, you know, whatever. And we don't even have 6 months left in this year. And there's probably going to be, you know, like periods of just sideways during alt season as well. You know, which could last 2 months, 3 months, 7 months, 10 months. I don't know. If we have an 8-month period of consolidation, that puts us in Q2 2026. I'm just saying. You're staying because you know it's waiting for the 15 on the 21. It's coming up quick. I don't even know what that means, bro. 15 on the 21. You talking about moving averages? Judging by your previous comments. Yeah, there is a little bit of a move up right here. 122.8 now. It's definitely pushing. Let's see where this pump can go. Let's see where this pump goes. Tuning in late to the live stream. Welcome, Badger. Rewind the stream if you guys are just tuning in so that you don't have to, you know, struggle for context. You can put it on 2x speed. You'll catch up. Anyway, we're about to end here. But just want to thank you and the 4Flies team for keeping me sane during this bull run. Your recent analysis vids have been spot on. Thank you very much. We'll do a lot more of that, and you're very, very welcome. Really appreciate it, yeah. The team is brilliant. The team is really, really good. I'm just a part of the team. I'm just a face. If we consolidate for that long, doesn't seem like we're going to do the normal crash after pump. We could. I think we could. I definitely think we could. But I understand why you say we wouldn't. But, you know, like, things can change really quick. It's like I said earlier on, like, you can just get war, and then war upsets everything, you know? Am I late to the stream? Yeah, you are a little bit. We started the stream 100 minutes ago. But that's fine. Just rewind. Just rewind the stream. There's a lot that we covered here today. It was a good stream. Double top, short. Good luck, bro. If you're going short on this, good luck. Maybe it's the right idea. I don't know. I'm not going to say anything on that. Have I seen dildo coin? No. Guerrilla marketing by throwing dildos on the WNBA courts. Oh, I have seen that. It's the only meme that's actually funny. That is pretty funny. That is pretty funny. You should stream daily. Enjoy hearing another version of myself talk. Yeah, dude. I love that. And that's what I'm saying, right? Like, a lot of you guys who watch this channel are a hell of a lot smarter than the rest of the, like, audiences on YouTube. So I get to talk to you the way I would talk to you if we were sitting in front of a, you know, in front of each other at a lounge or at a restaurant or at a coffee shop. You know what I mean? I just get to talk to you guys normally like I talk to my friends. I talk to my friends like they're all smart. You know what I mean? So I get to do that here on YouTube, and it's really nice. And yeah, I would love to stream more often. But, you know, there should be some price action, you know? Because standing around for, like, you know, 2 hours behind the microphone, that gets boring if there's nothing to... You know, if there's no price... Like, the price action kind of punctuates the live streams. We chat shit. You know? I give my unsolicited political opinions sometimes. Sometimes I read out cringe tweets. Shit posts. And then sometimes we see Bitcoin pumping, you know? And that kind of makes the live streams a little bit more fun. But yeah, obviously, we're doing more of these now, you know, now that the market is moving. Bitcoin has done 380-day consolidations with minus 30% dumps so far. So the chance is high that we could see another one. Exactly. Exactly. That's what we've been saying here for many months. This is now how the market moves. The market now moves in this way. Anyway, this little pump right here has just put Bitcoin back in this top range right here, which is really good. Because after trading up here, we've now tested the lows, which means that we might be ready to start testing the highs. So we could see that pop happening very soon. We could see it happening very soon. Not 2 hours, but maybe a 20 to 30 minute full market analysis. And then read off messages, joke around, hang out, grab some super chats for fun. Yeah, that actually sounds really nice. That actually sounds really nice. Yeah, I'd like to do that. I know 𝗏𝗏𝗟𝗟𝗓 did a lot of that. Minus 30% doesn't put us in a bear market. You're 100% right. And I'm glad you're saying that. Yeah, I agree with you. I think, you know, like 20, 30 minutes live makes sense. I know 𝗏𝗏𝗟𝗟𝗓 did a lot of that. I think the issue is that live streams on YouTube are kind of hard to, like, pick up in the algorithm. And then they're not brilliant for watching as replays either. Because they're a little bit slower. You know, when people watch a video, they just want to, you know, get straight to the point. But I'll do more of them, and I'll do what you said. I am gonna do what you said. I like your take. 𝗏𝗏𝗟𝗟𝗓 hates alts like crazy. Yeah, because he's got some common sense, bro. I hate altcoins too. 𝗏𝗏𝗟𝗟𝗓 is my role model, man. Don't forget. That guy's my teacher, man. I love that guy. I owe my life to that guy. But I'll still, you know, I mean, like, we're not allergic to money here. You know what I mean? If altcoins are gonna make money, that's still good. I'd be here watching every day. Don't have to worry about the algo. I'm in talking to everyone that's streaming. Lol, I'll bring them in. Thank you, bro. Appreciate that. No, I'll do it, man. I'll do it. I like your idea. I'll do what you said. That was a really good idea, man. Thanks. Bitcoin's pushing, ladies and gents. 123K right here again. Let's see. Let's see. Smash up the likes at the beginning of the show to get others learning from the best. Thank you very much. Yeah, Bitcoin's pushing. Let's see if we can pop. It's trying. It's definitely trying. Smash him up if you haven't done so already, ladies and gents. What do I think of Benjamin Cowan? I don't watch him, but I know he's got his head screwed on. I know he's sensible. I know he's honest, most importantly. My God. YouTubers have an honesty problem. They're disgusting. They're fucking disgusting. Benjamin Cowan's honest. You know what I mean? I like that. I like that a lot. But I don't watch him, and I don't know enough to comment on his stuff. But yeah, we've just popped above 123 there, ladies and gents. That's what I'm saying. We grabbed that liquidity down here, and now it's easier to push higher. They're disgusting. Yes, they are. People on this space of the internet, they're very bad. They're very bad. 135K incoming? I think so. I think so. Rate Trump's presidency 1 to 10. What do you guys think before I say something? You guys rate Trump's presidency so far. I want to know what you guys are thinking in the live chat. 1 being terrible, 10 being amazing. Where is he? I want to see some numbers in the live chat before I answer that question. And what is my number? Let me think about my number here. We got 8, we got 12, 7. Rate Trump's presidency here, guys. We got 8, 12, 7, 11, 9, 6, 6.5, 10, 100, 7. I'm with you guys. I think my answer is like a 7, 8. Like, from everything I've seen so far, he's like a solid, like, 7, 8. Am I walking on a treadmill? Yes, sir. There's never been anything like him. He's a 10. I think you could say 10, but I don't know. It really depends on, like, what your expectations are out of a president, how sovereign you want your president to be. I'm going to leave it there. I won't say more than that. But, if he keeps up this tariff stuff, then the US will be out of debt. It could be. It could be. That would be really cool. That would be... The tariffs were a genius idea. 4 flies in Jason Casper treadmills. Yup. Jason Casper's ripped, bro. I don't know about ripped, but, like, he's buff, you know? Like, he's done some work. I'm 24, man. I should be at the peak of my life. I'm getting there. Trump is getting a job done, maybe not going about it in the best of ways. Yeah, I think he's going about it pretty well overall. He is literally playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. Yup. Yup. Fully agree. Everyone forgot Epstein. I didn't forget Epstein. I didn't forget Epstein. That name's not going away. That name is not going away. The JFK drama didn't go away yet. You know what I mean? He is good for the rich stock market, but not great otherwise. I mean, I don't know. That's a big statement to unpack. I think Trump has done very well. And I find the comparison silly, you know, because, like, I totally understand that there are some really good reasons to criticize Trump since he took his presidency again. But, like, what was the alternative? It was that drunk bitch, Kamala. She was Indian, then she was black. The fuck? You know what I mean? Like, I understand. I really understand why a lot of people are very critical of Trump right now. But, like, I think Americans need to appreciate what they have a little bit. That's why I said 7. Yeah, exactly. Symbol in the live chat. That's why Symbol said 7. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, there was no competition. What do you mean, Kamala? You know what I mean? 2028 is going to be interesting. Because you guys are going to have Gavin Newsom. Who here in the chat knows about Gavin Newsom? How many Americans do we have live right now watching this stream? Gavin Newsom is trouble. Because Gavin Newsom's white, well-spoken, beautiful wife, beautiful children. He is the American dream epitomized. He's respectful. He talks well. You know what I mean? He checks all the boxes. He checks all the boxes. Yeah, if you have a little bit of critical thinking, he's terrible. He's a communist. He's dangerous. You know what I mean? Californians hate him, do they? California's a blue state. All my homies hate Gavin Newsom. I mean, look, you guys are, like, in the crypto world, you know what I mean? But, like, the average person... Kamala still got close to 50% of the votes. Can we keep that in mind? And that was Kamala. Kamala was terrible. I honestly think Gavin Newsom could win the next election. I don't even care who's on the Republican ticket. I think Newsom could win the next election. Only Californians know who he truly is. Exactly. Exactly. The rest of the country, they're going to see a well-spoken guy that clips things up so well. He's got such a good PR team. I'm afraid you're right. JD is sharp, though, if he makes the ticket. But there's a lot of controversy around JD. You know what I mean? Like, if you go on Twitter right now, he could be the next Obama. Yeah, I mean, my God, it would be... I don't know, bro. Like, we'd have to, like, escape to Mars if it's Newsom in 28. It's not, like I say, it's not an I'm not American. It's not an American thing. Like, the US president affects the whole world in a very, very real, serious way. LA and San Francisco are different than the rest of the state, but it doesn't matter. Blue runs it. Absolutely. California is increasingly turning red. Yes, it is. It is. It was like 38%, wasn't it? Republican this time. You know, like, what's the definition for swing state? Isn't that like 44%? Like, when you get 44, you start to become a swing state? It's not far away. Michael, I live in California. I'd hate to see Newsom do to the country what he did to Cali. It would be terrible, bro. It would be so bad. Hajim, yeah, I've been saying this. America has cards that affect all players. They really do. They really do. American politics is global politics. Democrat and Republican are working for the same boss. Maybe. Wonder who that boss is. Is it the deep state? Who's the deep state? Let's not get banned on YouTube today, boys. Let's not get some CG violations going. Vance to run for president and Trump to run for VP. That would be funny. That would be funny. I don't think Trump can do that. I'm pretty sure the Constitution bans him from doing that. Because he is in line for being president. You know what I mean? So, I don't know how clear that is. Who's the deep state? Who runs the parties? Who runs the uni party? Whoa. Whoa. 2025, boys. We're asking the questions now. Trump camp, though. His kids can. I don't think his kids are gonna. None of his kids have the spine. Barron does, but Barron's too young. None of his kids have the spine. They look like yes men. His kids look like yes men. They're polished. They don't fuck up like Biden's kids. That's nice, but I don't know. There's a lot of people on the Republican side. Vivek is going to run again. I don't know. Vivek's not going to get it. He's too Indian. But Vivek is pretty decent. There's a few. There's a few, but there's Newsom. Nobody's Newsom. The Republicans don't have a Newsom. They don't have a Newsom. Nobody has a Newsom. Steven says, I'll be moving to Bosnia and... I've never said this out loud. Herzegovina? Bosnia and Herzegovina? Did I say that right? Herzegovina? Watching all the foolery of the United States from there. I'll still vote. Yeah, but like... You're in the... You know, you're in Europe. Like, how immune are you to that shit? You know what I mean? Like, Europe's way worse off. I don't know about Bosnia specifically. Probably not as bad as other... Is Bosnia even in the EU? I don't think so. I don't think it is. Vivek is great. But he lost people when he... you know, when he wrote that tweet in December. He took a big calculated risk there. And it ruined his career. At least temporarily. Vivek is great. Vivek is a real American. Yeah, I don't know. 2028 is going to be interesting. It's going to be really, really interesting. I just hope that these next 3 years go so well that it becomes obvious that good monetary policy equals growth for everybody. He seems super disingenuous, yeah, but like, come on, bro. I don't know. I agree with you. Very disingenuous, but you need some critical thinking skills. How many people have that? I'm serious. If the economy can stay strong Republicans can still have a chance against the machine, in my opinion. Depends on what life looks like for the average person. Exactly. Exactly. At the end of the day, the Democrats lost the last election because people had a shit run during those 4 years. Is Trump going to change that? He inherited a big mess. Both times, he inherited a big mess. And by the way, Trump's not trying to fix it. The mess is debt. The mess is debt. And I know you guys are intelligent enough to understand that. Debt is a very serious problem and nobody wants to talk about it. That's not how this works. Yeah, there's no way around it. There's no way around it. But it's like, at least on the Republican side, you have a chance. You know, to like fix these problems. At least you have a chance. Democrats are all about, you know, government programs and spending and, you know what I mean? Like, that doesn't work. Doge show didn't last long enough. Doge didn't amount to anything that it was supposed to be. And we all knew it. We all knew it. Doge was such a massive failure, man. It was such a shame to see. But that's why the midterms are a problem next year. Because, like, who are you going to vote for? Okay, you're disenfranchised with the Republicans. What, you're going to vote them now? Make it even worse? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what the next step is here. It's going to be very interesting to watch. I mean, that's it. That's ultimately all. That's all you could do. Am I still on? Yeah, we're still live. Bitcoin started moving, so I stayed on. We're back on the treadmill, boys. Where are we at? It's been 94 minutes running this. They just won't vote? Well, that's not good either. You don't want an apathetic democracy where you have a lot of voter apathy. You want votes. You want people voting. That's how you change stuff. So that's not good either. But yeah, what do you expect? That's the natural result. I know this very well. It's the same problem in my country, in the UK. You vote Conservatives, you get a left-wing government. You vote Labour, you get a left-wing government. You vote Lib Dem, you get a left-wing government. You vote Green Party, you get a left-wing government. You vote Reform, okay, now we have something. But British nationalists? I don't know, I don't think they're sophisticated enough, are they? 15 minute, 21, caught up, no time. Oh, there we go, yeah, we are pumping right here, ladies and gents. Well, I'm glad we're still alive. Smash up the likes for that, if you're still sticking with us. I go to the UK all the time, man. But I don't like being there. I thought that Indian Prime Minister was pretty good. He was fucking terrible, bro. He was terrible. Liz Truss. Liz Truss was great. Liz Truss. Say her name. She was great. She was our Trump. She was our Trump. And my God, was she brilliant. A British woman with the values of a president like Trump. My God, we lucked out. We locked out. And then the deep state took her prime minister position away from her. How is that Boris guy? They're all the same, bro. They're all the same machine. Liz Truss was the only one that started shaking things up. What happened to her? The Bank of England started crashing shit. Organized traders started crashing the pound. Interest rates went up. But that wasn't even her. That was obviously, United States doing the same thing as well. But obviously British people are not sophisticated enough to understand that. British people don't understand that our economy almost 1-to-1 copies America's economy. But worse, obviously. Smash the like, bro. Thank you very much, AL. Welcome back to the live stream. Smash up those likes, ladies and gents, for this little Bitcoin breakout we just saw here. Let's see if we stick to it. We're still standing above 123 right here. Yeah, they crashed the markets, bro, with Liz Truss. Basically, they made it look like everything that she announced was going to crash the economy. And then they started to crash the economy by selling stuff. And the British people don't understand this. And rightfully, who taught them? Nobody teaches us this shit. We're taught that Labour is for the working people. No, it's fucking not. It's for a 5-year election cycle. Labour's not for working people. Labour is for votes. Labour just worked out how to maximum exploit votes. Just like Democrats. They're not actually for working people. If they were for working people, then why the fuck aren't the working people in a good position right now? It's not because the pendulum swings to conservatives every 5 years. It's not because of that. It's because none of these policies work. People are sheep. Yeah, man. Europe is going down because of the immigration problem. The immigration problem is a disaster in Europe. It's a disaster. It's disgusting what they've done. I grew up as a firstborn immigrant in the UK. My parents are not from the UK, India and Pakistan. That's where my parents are from. I was the firstborn in the UK of my family. And when I grew up, and we went to a white area, because I grew up in a very brown area of London. All of London's brown now. When we went to a white area, my mum would hold me tighter and she'd be like, Sammy, you have to behave. There's Gora people here. Gora people means white. You know, she's like, you have to behave. Don't give us a bad name. Don't make us look bad. That's what my mum taught me when I was growing up. So I always had this, like, thing of... I mean, anyway, I wasn't a mischievous kid, but I always had this thing of, like, you know... I'm in someone else's country. Yes, I possess that nationality. Yes, I possess that passport, but... this is not my native land. So I need to respect that. I'm not saying that we need discrimination. Maybe we do need a little bit. I don't know, but I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that respect for your host country is completely fucking gone. It's completely gone. That respect is gone. Across Europe. How has Europe changed compared to 10 years ago? I don't know. Quite a lot in every way, isn't it? Cities are not livable. It's the same picture as America. Cities are not livable anymore. It's dangerous. It's so dangerous. Liz Truss was the best thing for our country after she left. I left the UK. Yep. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. I would love to speak. If anyone watching this right now is in any way slightly somehow connected to Liz Truss, I would really appreciate if you could help me speak to her, and I'd love to do a show with her and just explain what happened. I know she's done it a million times. We're gonna do it differently. I would love to. If anyone happens to have a connection or a way to get to Liz Truss. Yes, it's called respect. I like your attitude. Yeah, thanks. Respect goes a long way. Yep. Dave says, yes, exactly, man. Have some appreciation and give back to your new country. Yeah. Yeah, there is just no respect. And you can't expect respect. By the way, let's just be clear about, you know, human nature. You could be brown, black, white, Chinese, fucking anything you like. If you can go to a host country with no process and then fleece money off the government, off the taxpayers, with no consequence, and now you're a protected class because there's two-tier policing as well, I mean, that's a lot of factors that are going to inflate people's egos and make them hostile to their host country. If you're giving that much free shit without consequence for stepping out of line, and without even earning the free shit anyway, yeah, of course, you're going to have a population of people that are ungrateful for what they got. Why would you be grateful if you just got it handed to you? That doesn't work. We all know how, you know, how human psychology works. That's not how this works. So, you know, it's the welfare stuff that starts this. You know, when that level of welfare is available to everybody, everybody's going to come and take it. That's the problem. Tommy is right. I don't know. Tommy Robinson's a little bit far off, isn't he? He's right about most stuff he says, though. I agree with most of what he says. It's just like the Muslim hate takes it in the wrong direction, you know? That any class of hate, to any religion, it takes it in the wrong direction. You wouldn't have a so-called Muslim problem in the UK if you didn't have a fucking endless welfare state to begin with. It's not Muslims. It's bad policy. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think that's where a lot of the right-wingers get it wrong in the UK. And that's what you have when you go right-wing. It's now just a bunch of fucking angry white people marching around fucking Westminster. No. That's not going to fix it either. That whole mentality of not embarrassing your family name is gone. My dad heavily installed that into me. Yeah, bro. Same. Same. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It still happens a little bit, you know? But, like I said, there's just not much gratefulness anymore. A lot of taking it for granted. Because they can. AL, same for me. I'm in Israel and my folks are from India. Same for you what, though? What do you mean? They are not there to take part. They take over, bro. I'm talking from experience. Maybe. I don't know. I don't even believe these conspiracies of, like, you know, certain groups of people are there to spread across the world and take over. I don't think that's what's happening. I guess it is. It probably is, to be honest. Taking over? Yeah, I guess. Depends how you define it. Yeah. When I travel, I fully respect the host country. Yeah, of course. I mean, it's like kind of basic, you know? But a lot of people don't have it, unfortunately. 100% agree it's not the religion. Mr. Tufu says, when you can't afford to buy a house or live comfortably, then all bets are off. People go crazy. Yep, you're right. But we're moving into a different economy now where people my age just understand that that's a fact of life. That you won't be able to afford anything, and fuck you for even, you know, asking. That's kind of how it is for people my age. It's Islamists, not Muslims. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Maybe it's the Islamists. I don't even know what that really means, but sure. I think you mean like the, you know, slightly more hardcore people, you know, of that religion. But I don't know, bro. I don't know. Look at Paris. Yeah, Paris is a shithole. Paris is a shithole. My mum's in Germany doing missionary work currently for Christianity, presumably, right? That's nice. That's nice. $200 away from the all-time high. Yes, sir, we are. We are $200 away from that all-time high. Very close. And it's looking good. It's looking like Bitcoin's trying to push. We might have to get a little bit of a liquidity grab a tiny bit lower. We might have to kind of like dip down and, you know, come back up. But I think we're looking good. Bro, they would love nothing more than caliphate. Now, this is where you guys lose me. Because I grew up in Muslim neighborhoods in the United Kingdom. Many of my friends were Muslim. Fucking half my school was Muslim. You know what I mean? And I've been all over the UK. They don't want a caliphate, bro. They just want to make money. Have a family. Fly back to Pakistan. Somalia, whatever it is. You know what I mean? Like, they're normal people too. They just have the so-called wrong skin color. They're not like... You know, these people that you're saying are actually causing problems are a small, you know, percentage of that population. And again, like, focusing on them is the wrong thing here. It's policy. You enable that behavior with bad policy. That's the problem. The Muslims I know in America are really respectful and hardworking. Yeah, I mean, like, most immigrant populations, they're usually pretty decent. Nobody sane wants to visit Pakistan. I mean, yeah, probably, but, like, you know, people who have Pakistani family, you know, they don't really have that opinion, do they? I'm glad you're explaining that, as that is the narrative they spread here in the USA. Yeah, they spread it everywhere. They spread it everywhere, you know, and it's too simple-minded. It's us versus them. It's divide and conquer, and it's not real. It's not real. Is Pakistan and India hate bigger than Israel-Palestine hate? I don't know. Hey, y'all, can you weigh in? You're Indian and Israeli. Do you have any opinions on that? I've never spoken to someone who grew up there. Yeah, no, I mean, it's just normal people, bro. British Muslims, they're the same as everybody else. You know, you get idiots, you get really smart people, you get doctors, you get fucking knife-wielding gangsters. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta mix, because believe it or not, people are fucking complex. And that doesn't stop if your skin color is not white. We know this, you know? Is it disproportionately, you know, those kind of people that cause problems? Yeah, I think that's definitely part of the truth, though. I think it is disproportionately those people, yes. I think the problem was that there was no, like, incentive or, like, requirement for assimilation. You know, like, the United States, the UK hands out citizenship to people who don't even speak English. If you can't speak English, how do you know who the fucking king is? Do you know what I mean? Like, how do you know who your senator is? How do you know what a senator is? Okay, you pass your naturalization test. What does that say? You're not American. You're not British. You don't know shit about the country. You just stayed there for enough years. So I think these are the deeper problems. You know, that we don't really talk about. I hope you're correct. I don't care about skin color. I care about culture. You're right with policies too. Yeah. Yeah, Western culture is superior to every other culture in the world, in my view. I think there's parts of every other culture that are brilliant. There are. And there's a lot of flaws in Western culture. But the whole world tries to be the West. Yeah? That's a fact. I don't care where you go. You can go to Dubai. You can go to Singapore. You can go to fucking China. The whole world wishes it was the West. And that's for good reason. You know? And when you accept people into your country that fundamentally oppose that culture, you're gonna have problems. Color or religion doesn't come into it. It's about dividing and categorizing people. That's it, man. That's it. That's it. There is the super rich that control things, and then there is you, and you are made busy to fight each other. Absolutely. That's what I'm saying, man. That's what I'm saying. You guys are a switched on audience. I like it. I like it. We're all, like, pretty real for this. Your time slot for live stream should be 9:30 a.m. EST, which is 5:30 UK, right before 𝗙𝗢𝗟𝗟𝗪, or 6 to 7:30 p.m. EST, but that puts you in the middle of the night. Yeah, I usually live stream at, like, I mean, this is quite late, but I usually live stream at, like, this time plus minus, like, 4 hours, minus 5 hours, you know, so, like, roughly around what you're saying. Is it? I don't know, actually. It might not be. I can live stream earlier. It just depends on when the market's going. You don't have problems. You have the future and broader beliefs and thoughts and a much better overall country. All the countries that have immigrants in the history, like the USA, show that. I don't really know what you're saying, bro. Yeah, Bitcoin is pushing for a new high. We'll see where this goes. MBS is a good leader. Yeah, he's doing bits, isn't he? MBS. I don't know what he's doing with the line. That's weird. I really don't understand the line. And I tried, you know? I tried to understand it. I don't know what the line is. But MBS, for the most part, yeah, seems pretty decent. Sound lad. Yeah, Middle Eastern leaders, especially like GCC, you know, the rich ones in the Middle East, they know what they're doing. And they're doing well. $123,121, ladies and gents. Smash up those likes. Bitcoin is about to sweep that high. It's looking like it might do that right now. And that all-time high is a stone's throw away from there as well. It blows my mind how much oil money they have. The United States could have it too. The UK could have it too. Oil doesn't just exist in the Middle East. Western culture's foundation is Torah and mixed with Greek philosophy. Yup, Israel. People are going to try so hard to reject that fact. You are right. Yeah, we got very well researched people in the live chat today. I think it's oversimplified to say Torah and Greek philosophy, but I think that probably does account for like 80-90% plus, to be fair. Yeah, so I don't know, probably not oversimplified. Yeah, very, very well researched. Yeah, fully agree. Sailor, buy some, make us to new all-time high. Oh wow, yeah, we are trying. We are trying. Waiting for the Coinbase all-time high notification. Hell yeah, bro. Nah, man, Americans believe in Jesus. Yeah, of course. I mean, it's like a Christian country first and foremost, isn't it? But that's changing. I don't know if that's good or bad. Probably neither, because you can have decent people of all faiths. But cultural cohesion makes sense for a country too. I can understand that. I can understand that. Religious cohesion, it works well for a lot of countries. But I don't think America was founded as that country, was it? I don't think America was founded to be that country. Bear in mind, a lot of the people that went to America escaped Europe because... Exactly, Puritans. They escaped Europe because of religious persecution. Alright, here we go. Bitcoin's pushing. It's trying. Alright, boys. We're at 8,300 steps. And I feel it. It's so weak now. You're saying Bitcoin is weak now? I don't know. You are looking at it on the 1 minute time frame. So I would say I completely disagree. I don't think it looks weak. It's literally $100 away from its all-time high. Do I integrate jogging into my workouts? Nope. No. I only got back on it, bro, like 2-3 weeks ago. Like 3 weeks ago, you know? So, I think the main focus is like hitting 10k. I'm getting 10k every day now, so I was thinking actually 15 is probably better. 15k steps a day is equivalent to about 3 hours non-stop of walking. You know, so that's a lot of walking. But it's not so bad, you know, like you speak to people on the phone and, you know, you've got a lot of amazing content on Twitter, Rumble, YouTube. So he's saying that the hesitation we have around the all-time high is concerning. I hear you, but again, we're on the 1 minute time frame, you know? Like, I see it the opposite, you know? Like, we didn't get a quick rejection. We got a rejection, yeah? We got this one right here. And look, it lasted 41 minutes to get to the low. It only took the price down by 0.6%. It didn't even take the price down by 1 full percent. And then we swept that high within an hour. You're seeing hesitation? I'm seeing weakness from bears, ladies and gents. The bears are not able to produce any level of significant rejection right now. And they haven't been able to do that for a few days. Isn't consolidation at a high a good thing? I think so. Yeah, there we go. We're popping right now. $123,147, ladies and gents. Smash them up. Smash up those likes. Smash the likes if you like money. There we go. Jan's in the building. What's going on, Jan? Where's all the ethers dead comments these days? Yeah. People are so dramatic, bro, in crypto. People are so dramatic. But that's fine. We get to make money off them. There we go. There we go. Brand new all-time high, ladies and gents. There we go. Yup. And look at it flying. It's flying. There we go. That's a brand new all-time high, ladies and gents. Play the pump song. Boom. Yeah, smash the likes if you like creator that talks to everyone. Thank you very much. There we go. $123,496. Look at how fast you pop when you break resistance. Look at how fast you pop when you break resistance, ladies and gents. There is the all-time high. It took 30 days to break that all-time high. We dropped down by like 10%, barely anything. Getting a little bit of a pullback now as we get that initial breakout. Bear in mind, we're still on the 1 minute time frame. Blue sky breakout. Yes, sir, it is. We're still on the 1 minute time frame. We don't want to start overanalyzing this, but we did get that big pop. So that is absolutely fantastic. We got to watch for a couple of things now. What do we need to watch for? We need to watch for this potential back test at 123.2, especially once we clear it with some more headroom, if we can get up to 124, 125, we're going to want to keep our eyes on this previous all-time high. This is going to be very important. Failing that, I think a better support level for Bitcoin is still 122.3, especially given that we haven't cleared our previous all-time high with a significant margin yet. So 122.2 is still a very important level in my books as well for Bitcoin. But we're going to want to see how this moves, how aggressively it moves. Let's take a look at Bitcoin dominance. See what Bitcoin dominance is saying. Pretty much standing sideways. That makes sense. Smash up the likes, ladies and gents, for this live coverage if you're finding it useful, entertaining. If you like our chats, smash them up. Double check that you're subscribed. You already know the deal. Don't you worry about the bears, and don't cry when Sailor shows bear teeth and everybody's going to curse that he made money. Yeah, that's going to be ugly when that happens. Hajim says 6 billion in liquidations at 125k. How the fuck did that happen? Well, we haven't hit 125 yet, to be fair. But we could do that right now on stream. We could do that right now. I love green candles. Me too, brother. Me too. $123,400, ladies and gents, for Bitcoin right here. It has broken above its all-time high. It took 30 days. We had a decent correction down. 19 days to correct by 9%. And 30 days flat to set a brand new all-time high. Yeah, Coley, you did get that right. You did get that completely right, yep. 𝗦𝗢𝗟𝗟𝗢𝗪 says, I had a long since 74k, I think. Should I sell? Congratulations, mate. That is amazing. You've probably seen some really, really good profits. Taking profits never made a man poor, bro. I'm just saying that, you know what I mean? Like, unrealized gains are not going to buy you anything. But should you take profits, that is entirely your call. That is entirely your call and your call alone to make. This isn't the Jason Casper bringing us to the restroom while he's taking a piss site. That's brilliant. I didn't know that he does stuff like that. And I don't even really believe you. But that's brilliant. Take some profits, maybe keep a moon bag, just my opinion. KT made it. I completely agree with that sentiment. 12x leverage. Wow. That's a lot of profit. That's a lot of... What are you in? Like a 400, 500% profit right now? Like, what are you in right now, bro? Spare some change, bro. Shit. Leave some gains for the rest of us, brother. I round trip twice. I'm so numb now. I get it, bro. I get it. I fully get it. Here's Bitcoin on the right. We got the wrecked cam on the right. It's the 1 minute time frame. Please take it with a massive pinch of salt. Don't analyze it too much. It is only the 1 minute time frame. That's very dangerous. Not good for you. Jason got super energy from all his homegrown fruit and veg. Yeah, he's a legend. He's a legend. He's definitely a role model for doing that. Coley, I've been 40x long since 118k, not dropping it till 127. So apparently Jason took his live stream to the toilet with him. Fair enough. I respect it. That's an alpha move. Pissing on a live stream. Kind of like, who else did that? Who else was peeing on a... It was on Twitter Spaces, wasn't it? Was it Vivek? Was it Vivek? Somebody here will know. There was a Twitter Space like live stream and someone just took a piss on stream. It was brilliant. I think Andrew Tate was in that live stream as well. In that Twitter Space. 𝗦𝗢𝗟𝗟𝗢𝗪 says it's his second best trade ever, going long from 74k at 12x. Whenever I get a nice trade, you know, I just take profits, you know, whenever I want the money, pretty much. Or if it hits, you know, profit targets like 30%, 50%, 100%, whatever. Everybody got plenty of money to invest because it's so easy to come by now, hence the price of Bitcoin, obviously. That's a very broad statement. I think many people wouldn't agree with you on that. 40x long, y'all got big things down there. Don't have the mental fortitude for 40x. Yeah, 40x is ridiculous. I'm with you on that too. 40x is crazy. I don't want to say it, but yeah, I don't know how you could do 40x. That's like definitely gambling in my books. But shit, bro, like you made it work. I'm not saying shit to you. You made money, bro. That's the only thing that matters. Like I said this at the beginning of the stream. When you buy your wife that Porsche, When you walk into that dealership, when you get yourself that nice watch, when you pay off your mortgage, nobody's going to ask you what strategy you used, which coin you bought. They're just going to tell you to sign here. That's it. Nobody cares. So if it works, it works. We're back in price discovery mode, ladies and gents. $123,634 on Bitcoin right here. Back in price discovery mode. Let's see if we can keep these highs and keep pushing right here on the 1 minute time frame on the right hand side of the screen. And this is what I was saying earlier, ladies and gents. Remember those of you who were here just like 20-30 minutes ago? I made the point that we moved down over here, okay? When you get that kind of drop, you're sending a message, especially if you can recover that drop, that you captured liquidity down here. So now the next level to test is going to be the upside. That's exactly what we said just minutes before this pump happened. Let me know in the live chat if you remember that. That was just a few minutes ago. Just say I was here when you said that in the live chat. Am I considering taking trades on alts now that ETH is going to break the all-time high? Absolutely. Yes. Yeah, I was going to try to YOLO a little since it was a great entry. Yeah, fair enough. I was here, sleepy onions. We were talking about this right here. When you test that liquidity down here, when you recover, that's going to be the big sign to the market that you're ready to push that next level. Badger was here. Glad you stayed on, brother. Yeah, me too. Sammy, we're printing money. Yes, we are, a fool. What's going on, man? Welcome to the live stream. Ahmed, what's going on, bro? How are you? Indiana Jones was here. Yeah, and that's what we're talking about, ladies and gents. When you get a successful recovery, you send a very clear message to the bears that the bears are not in control. You send a very clear message to the bears that the bears are not in control when you get that kind of recovery. What do I want to look at? Ethereum. Okay, Ethereum is not breaking anything right now, so Bitcoin is stealing that spotlight a little bit. No, but Ethereum against Bitcoin is up, but I am on the 1 minute time frame, so probably a little bit misleading. Bitcoin's sitting at 123,680. Finding a little bit of resistance right here on the 1 minute time frame, but I'm sure that'll resolve quickly. Remember, boys, this is alt season number 2, meaning different things move. This is Cardano and Litecoin's time to shine with a couple other older coins. That would be nice. I would like to see that. I don't know if I fully agree with you on your statement, but I do partially agree for sure. What's the next move? I don't know, bro. Probably should already be positioned by now, to be honest. I don't think there's a move right now. Maybe you get a pullback, you get some nice entries, maybe there's some consolidation, you can kind of jump on the trend. You know, that's what a couple traders are going to be looking at right now, but like at this very moment, you should just watch it. Or even better, don't watch it. Even better, go outside, touch some grass. You know what I mean? Go spend some time with the family, with your friends. Go smoke a hookah. I don't think there's ever a good time to just sit and look at the charts. We just do this shit for entertainment on stream. You know what I mean? This is just entertainment. Look at Cardano's chart. Draw a line on the date. Okay, I can't walk. This is so tiring. I've done 5.2 kilometers. That's not bad. 5.2 kilometers, but my heels hate me now. Oh, that's a lot of walking. What is that? 9.2k steps, but I don't think my watch is calculating that properly. Could be more. All right. How hasn't this hit 125? Bro, it's been like 2 minutes, bro. Relax. How long has it been? It's been 10 minutes since we popped. We're doing fine. We're doing okay. Let me show you something quickly. I think this is going to apply to a lot of people. Because a lot of people, they just have completely unrealistic expectations of how these markets work. Okay, if you look at the S&P 500, like, it constantly has pullbacks on its way up. Constantly. And the pullbacks are, like, for no reason a lot of the time. You know? But, like, its net move, its total move at the end of the day is up. At the end of the week is up. You know, like, you can sit and look at these time frames and it gets frustrating, man. Why are there so many red candles? You know what I mean? You go out to the weekly. Where's the red candles? You only had one. You know what I mean? So, real grass, not narcotics. Yeah. So I think a lot of people don't have, you know, realistic kind of ideas of how these markets move, and that will happen to you if you watch the charts on small time frames, which is why I say that this is a really bad idea for most people. How hasn't this hit? Oh, yeah, we've already read that. 3 months ago, I was minus 40k. Now I'm 10k in profits. Hell yes, bro. Now, whatever you did to get in debt, don't do it again and keep yourself safe, yeah? Please. Please. Because a lot of people do what you did and then they end up fucked again. Don't be one of them. Don't be a statistic like that. Whatever you did to unfuck your position, secure yourself and make sure that you have a safe path onwards. We don't ever want to go negative again. Bloody Fang says, should we sell? I don't know, bro. That's your choice. I won't comment on that. We've got a pullback right here. We'll see how low this goes. I'm fine with anything above 123.2. I'm fine with anything above 122.2. So we can drop by $1,000, and I wouldn't mind. It would be nice if we can hold these levels too. We just need to hold this for the daily close. Yeah, where's the daily close? Daily close is an hour away. Only an hour away. $40 for Ethereum to set a new all-time high. Yep. Very, very cool. For sure, bro. I got my lesson. Good stuff. Good stuff. Or preferably push a little bit higher so we can bounce off the old range and continue. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's what I was saying I want as well. Coinbase notification just arrived. Let's go. Let's go. It's too quiet for this type of action right now. The world is seriously sleeping. I don't know. I don't think it's that bad. I just don't think it's that bad. 123.663 all-time high. Yeah, it's pretty good. Can't get to 124, guys. Stop it. Stop it. It's been like 15 minutes. This can take days. Let's be grateful for what we have, please. Let's be a little bit more grateful. Even if this bitch drops below the previous all-time high, I want you guys grateful for what we have. Otherwise, you just cooked. And it's not going to get better. Guys, I'm probably going to wrap this live stream up, though. I can come back. I can come back in a little bit. But, I am probably going to have to call it here. We'll see, we'll see. I'll do another few minutes. We'll do another few minutes. We'll see. Whatever happened to 𝗙𝗘𝗟𝗓𝗙? I don't know, bro. I miss that guy, man. I miss that guy. Is this a trap? Well, we're going to find out, aren't we? I don't think so. But, yeah, we did get a big, quick retracement. But, like, look at how worried this chat is. Like, with how worried the chat is, I'm not worried. You know what I mean? Like, if you guys are worried in this chat, imagine how worried the rest of the crypto market is. Just sounds like a good time for supply to swing and, you know what I mean? Set a stop if you're really worried about it. Personally, not selling anything until after the September rate cut. Yeah, I think you got the right idea, dude. You may lose all your investment. Crypto sites saying you disregard it like it's nothing. It's going to be fine. I don't know what you're talking about, bro. Yeah, we've dipped below that previous all-time high. So let's see what happens here. We have a ton of local support here on the minute time frame. It's really not over. Good seeing you, bro. Greetings from California. Not worried at all over here. Yes, bro. Alchemist 2035. Thank you very much. Where in California are you from, bro? God's favorite part of the planet. That's what I say. The way California was sculpted. It's beautiful. Yeah, there are some buyers defending this level right here. We'll see how this continues on. San Diego, yes, bro. San Diego's nice. In the past, the Fed's pivot led to market corrections. Are we going to see the same for the rate cut in September? That's a really good question, Med. I made a long video tackling this question right here. It's called Buckle Up. Bitcoin's bull market is about to get violent. Deep dive. Please go back and watch this video. This applies to everybody here. This video, it's... Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Buckle Up right here. 3 days ago. This video is more important than everything we've discussed in this 2.5-hour live stream. Okay, we've been live for 2.5 hours, and this 40-minute video, you can play it in the background, you can watch it on the chart. It's more important than everything we've said in this video. And I specifically tackled your question as well. I would rather you guys abandon this live stream and watch that video right now, because of how important that is. The short answer to your question, I believe, you know, so far... the rate cuts have already started, and the markets are very bullish. And it's been a year. This one right here, buckle up. Bitcoin's bull market is about to get violent. It's 38 minutes, 53 seconds. It's right here. 4,200 views. Check that out. It's from 3 days ago. I know the titles and thumbnails are all kind of similar, so it's a little bit hard to see it, but it's the only 40-minute video that I posted recently. So go watch that video. We cover those topics quite intimately. Basically, you know, rate cuts have already started and we've done very well for the last year. That's never happened. You know, so to me, it's an indication that alongside all the other very bullish factors, that we're probably in a very, very, very good place right now. Which alts would you recommend to add at this time of the cycle? I don't really know, man. I'm not really asking questions like that. I think probably the Made in America coins are good, though. Alright, let's see what's going on with this dip right here. It is a violent dip. But it is also the 1 minute time frame. My man closed that 40x long just in case. And that's what I'm saying, right? A lot of people will be closing their longs because of wicks like this. And that's how you clear the way to move up again when those longs close. So we can actually put some data behind this and see if I'm talking out of my ass or if what I'm saying is legit. Daniel says, hey Sammy, thanks for your free content. Appreciate every single information. You're very welcome. Thank you very much for the very nice comment. That's so nice of you. Thank you very much, Daniel. Let's go on the minute time frame and take a look at this dip. Yeah, the big drop. Big drop in open interest. Big increase in longs. But that's clearly because shorts were closing. And then on this drop here, we did see more shorts come in, but we didn't really see longs getting liquidated. So if this is a liquidation hunt for longs, this is going to go a lot lower. If we're hunting for longs right now, which we could be. We could be hunting for longs. It's probably going to, you know, like it could even dip down to like here, you know. And then we'd be stuck sideways for like another day if that happened potentially. I stayed open because I'm driving. A lot of people are up on trades but can't close them because they want to make more. Got to pay the trader when you do it every day. Absolutely. That's what I say all the time, man. It's exactly what I say. You're right, bro. It is like talking to yourself. if you're saying this shit too. Yeah, I hear you, man. I hear you. Yeah, if it's a long liquidity hunt, it's probably going to get a lot lower. But I don't think we can be so confident as to say that yet. Generally, when we break an all-time high in a bull run, we push much harder, quicker. This time we didn't do it, so I'm like, yeah, you got a point. You got a point, but it's also been like 20 minutes. You know, and like I said, this is like a multi-day question, so... Like, flip it the other way around. You know, like, if we dip down here and the bears don't get what they want again, then we move up by another $500 again. And that's how this has gone. It's like down by 500. The bears get proven wrong, then you're up by 1,000. You know what I mean? And then you're down by 500. Bears get it wrong, you're up by 1,000. And it just constantly goes like that. We are the same person, lol. I'm the Irish version of you, Ruffle. Brilliant. Ireland's sick. I love Irish people. You guys are really cool. So nice. I've never met an Irishman I don't like. I've never met an Irishman I don't like. Irishmen are always brilliant people. Right, guys, that is definitely me. I am going to head off from here. Thank you all for tuning in. I'll be back if there's something big, but I am going to call it here. So thanks very much. It's been a brilliant live stream. Smash them up if you haven't done so already. Subscribe, tick the bell, all that good stuff. We've got an amazing, incredibly powerful one-to-one coaching program here at last 12 weeks. It's an expensive investment, but it's very serious. Everybody that's ever joined this program has paid off their investment fee within the first couple of weeks of joining. That's not a coincidence. It's probably not going to stay that way. Someone's going to mess that up eventually. But it has gone incredibly well so far, and I'm very, very happy with that. So if you want to get yourself in, this is the link on screen right here. A member of the team will give you that information. You got two of the best exchanges in the game. 𝗙𝗢𝗟𝗟𝗓, you're getting exclusive chart updates from the team right there. And Bybit, you can trade traditional finance like stocks and all that good stuff. Check them out if you're not from a restricted region. Thank you all very much for your time today. We'll be back with a video, live stream, whatever, depending on what the market's saying.